If there's a touchdown on this play, I'm running for cover.
The clock reads 2 seconds. One play to tie the football game. Collier, end zone, goes for Arnold. He caught it!
Oh
Touchdown DeSoto!
Oh my God!
As time expires!
Are you kidding me?
Touchdown Eagles, and they're an extra point away from tying the football game. DeSoto's gonna go for 2 and the win. Collier, man in motion is Arnold. They throw it to him. It's incomplete. Cedar Hill wins. The Battle of Beltline. Cedar Hill and DeSoto, separated by 6 miles along Beltline Road, separated by far less between the white lines. Since 2004, it's dead even, 8 wins apiece. Over the defender's hands, touchdown. And this time around, a berth in the district championship game is up for grabs. In the end zone, he's got a man open, touchdown. DeSoto and Cedar Hill on Friday Night Football. Next. It's a top 10 battle in the highest level of Texas high school football. Number 10 Cedar Hill hosts number 6 DeSoto in the Battle of Beltline. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Cedar Hill. Friday Night Football with you once again. Mike Leslie here with you, joined as always by former LSU and TCU wide receiver John D'Arce, socially distanced as always, but here for another week of fantastic high school football. And this week, we've got the game of the week across the state. Cedar Hill and DeSoto, 2 teams that don't like each other very much, 2 teams that have been playing for a very long time. Tickets for this one, John, obviously we're living in COVID times, so there weren't many to begin with, but they sold out real quick this week.
I mean, Mike, the first 30 minutes. I don't think I've ever been to a concert that happened like that. I've never been to the Super Bowl that happened like that. Anything of this like caliber, tickets sold out in the first 30 minutes. And I mean, people have been talking about it in the community for the last 2 or 3 weeks. I know I've had 2 to 3 parents of kids that I know out in the community that have been talking to me back and forth about this game. So, I mean, a lot of anticipation, a lot of hype, and I mean, I think it's going to be a great night for sure.
The trash talking between these 2 communities knows no bounds, and they definitely wanted to be here tonight. There's a lot of you out there watching us right now that wanted to be here tonight, I'm certain, but we'll have you covered all throughout the evening. A lot on the line tonight, not just bragging rights, but also in the district standings. The winner of this game will essentially win the zone championship and will match up against most likely Duncanville 1 week from tonight for the district championship. So there's a lot on the line between these 2 teams.
Absolutely, Mike. I mean, this is what you want, though. This is the part of the football season where guys really started turning up a notch. We talked a little bit about it last week, where guys have to minimize a lot of mistakes, a lot of mental breakdowns that we've seen week in and week out. And so, this game in particular, though, I mean, going up against another powerhouse next week against Duncanville, I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. A 3-headed monster. Somebody's got to duke it out. Somebody's got to win it. So, again, it's going to be a really, really exciting night for sure.
DeSoto comes in on an absolute tear, ranked 6th in the state, 4-0 on the year, and they've been dominant in their first 4 games of this season. Samari Collier, their quarterback, has been fantastic. He's got 4 talented wide receivers to throw the football to, but it's on the defensive side of the ball that I think this team, John, has been a little bit undersold, maybe underappreciated. Their defense is fantastic, and they're led by a monster in the middle.
Absolutely, Shamar, I mean, I literally thought about Von Miller watching this kid on film. I mean, 6'4", 282. I mean, you really can't get any better than that. I mean, 39 collegiate scholarships. I mean, that's probably the most we've talked about this season. And it's by a defensive line in Shamar Turner. So, I mean, he's going to have, a phenomenal night, I believe. I've seen him on film all week. I mean, this kid can absolutely go. So it's going to be exciting to see him get to work tonight.
I think you had it right the first time. You can just call him Shamar. He can go by one name and people know who you're talking
Absolutely.
about. Shamar Turner is a freak. Meanwhile, Cedar Hill comes in also 4-0, also with some impressive wins so far early on this season. We saw them beat a very good Alito team on the road earlier this year, and everything that they do goes through their quarterback, Caden Salter.
Absolutely. K-Salt, as the kids around here call him. I mean, he is a master showman. He is a magician with the ball. He understands everything top to bottom of what it takes to play quarterback and have that leadership position. I mean, he's poised, he's calm. He's a very, very mature athlete, and so tonight, I mean, it's gonna be a showdown. I mean, him getting away from Shamar getting to him. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of back and forth, a fight for the ages tonight, man.
No doubt. Let's get you our starters for tonight's game. First, for the visiting DeSoto Eagles, on the offensive side of the ball, quarterback Samari Collier has an exceptionally dangerous wide receiving core. Jerron Bradley, Jaden Wilson, Jonte Cook, Javin Vining, all four of them are outstanding. At least three of them, if not four, are heading to play Division I college football. Defensively for DeSoto, Byron Murphy alongside Shamar Turner in the middle is just a ridiculous tandem. Wayman Smith leads the team in sacks. Jaden Milliner-Jones, just a sophomore, but really starting to show what he can do. Lathan Adams, the leader in that secondary, on his way to Colorado State. Offensively for Cedar Hill, we told you about Caden Salter. Kevin Young, the running back in the backfield with him. Brian Rainey and Anthony Thomas, his two main targets. All four wide receivers, very, very talented. Carlos Peoples, the leader of that offensive line. And defensively for Cedar Hill, this is a very talented unit. Charles Esters, the defensive end on his way to Texas Tech. Jaheim Lowe, the emotional leader of that defense. And Amarion Williams and Brett Lynch in the secondary. Two kids going to play college football that are both very, very talented. Head coaches tonight for the visiting Eagles, Claude Mathis in his second stint at DeSoto, 9th year overall with the Eagles, 88-20 in that span. And for Cedar Hill, Carlos Lynn in his 4th year here with the Longhorns, 27-10. The Battle of Beltline, a berth in the district title game on the line. Kickoff is next on Friday Night Football. 22. Deep ball from Towns for Jaden Chambers. Behind the defense. Nice move into the end zone.
Wow!
Friday Night Football, live on the WFAA YouTube channel. Every Friday night, all season. And a lightning strike from Darian Peace. Next up, the de facto district championship in District 5-6A as the 5th-ranked Allen Eagles host number 11 Denton Guyer. Friday night football from Longhorn Stadium in Cedar Hill. It's the Battle of Beltline, live on the WFAA Digital Network. Mike Leslie and John Diar's back here with you on the WFAA YouTube channel. Just about time for kickoff in the Battle of Beltline. DeSoto won the toss and deferred to the second half, so it will be Cedar Hill ball to start, John. And we get to see Caden Salter and the Cedar Hill Longhorns offense against the DeSoto defense. Shamar Turner, Byron Murphy, Devarion Foster, Lathan Adams. I can go on and on and on. This is the matchup we get. Note, in no way, shape, or form do I mean any disrespect to the DeSoto offense and the Cedar Hill defense. Those two units are also fantastic. Let me make sure I'm abundantly clear there. But this matchup, Cedar Hill's offense against the DeSoto defense, is about as good as you could ask for across the state.
Oh, absolutely, Mike. I mean, this is high school football, Mike. To me, in my opinion, this is what high school football is about.
Yes, sir.
It's good on good. I mean, it's fall time. It's perfect weather. I mean, you cannot tell me that they didn't max out this 50% capacity at this stadium. I mean, selling out tickets in the first 30 minutes of this game. All the excitement, all the hype is there. But like you said, I mean, the first series out the gate, we have Shamar Turner against K. Salt, the magician, the showman. I mean, just right off the bat, we got some good football going. So here's to a great night, Mike. Let's do it.
7:34, your official time for the opening kickoff as Angel Diaz sends it short along the right sideline, fielded at the 29-yard line, and running room right off the rip here for Cedar Hill. Out across the 45-yard line, a little pushing and shoving after the play. And it's going to be good field position for the Longhorns as Kevin Young, their starting tailback, brings it out to the 43-yard line. 1st and 10 for Caden Salter and company. So Salter, the starting quarterback, Kevin Young, the running back in the backfield with him, Jaden Moore, Brian Rainey, Julian Austin, Anthony Thomas the fourth, the four starting wide receivers for the Cedar Hill Longhorns, Miguel Massey, Carlos Peoples, Jaden Coker, Rigoberto Martinez, and Josiah Jefferson, their starting offensive line left to right. 1st and 10 from the 43 is where they spot it, and Salter's going to try and make something happen here by himself, lowers his shoulder, and picks up maybe two, and very quickly the DeSoto sideline is fired up. Flags after the play. Have we mentioned, John, that there's some emotion in this rivalry? And we see it right off the jump. And very early on here, our officiating crew having to sort out the aftermath of that play. We'll see what David Tucker and his crew have to say here. You may have noticed in our pregame show that any video of DeSoto players and coaches was from inside the locker room. That was very much intentional by Claude Mathis, the head football coach at DeSoto High School. And they're going to say it's a personal foul against Cedar Hill. And it's going to knock them back 15 yards after that play. Salter picked up maybe two on the play, so if I'm doing the math right, it's going to be 2nd down and 23 after all of that. But Claude Mathis decided very intentionally that they were not going to come out before kickoff. They walked out with 6 minutes before kickoff tonight. They warmed up at DeSoto High School and bust over here about 45 minutes before the game. Salter on 2nd and a mile and nowhere for him to go with the football as he tried to find Jaden Moore. Beg your pardon, it was Javian Clemmer coming across the middle. And it's going to be 3rd down and long. Yeah, Mike, going back to that first down play, I mean, a lot of high emotions coming to this game, and guys are fired up. And I mean, you got to expect it. I mean, you got two rivals 6 minutes away from each other. I mean, these kids know each other. They've played against each other all their lives. And, I mean, again, this is what high school football is all about. It's DeSoto defense trying to get off the field on the very first possession of the day and force a 3-and-out. Screen pass, though, and a lot of running room here for Kevin Young. He'll have the 1st down and then some inside the 40-yard line. The screen works to perfection. There is, though, a flag down again, sitting at the 48-yard line. They've begun moving the sticks, but very quickly the officials say, no, go back. I think they're going to try to – I think they may have tried to get a holding call right there. Try to catch that number again on the replay. The flag was thrown at the 48. If it is indeed a hold, which it appears is going to be the call here, that would run them back to the 38-yard line, and they'd replay 3rd down from that spot. See if you can see the hold here. There it is, and it's JV and Clemmer,
Yeah.
it looks like, that got maybe a fistful of jersey on Devin Bobby, the safety, and it sets up 3rd down at about 16. Wayman Smith, Byron Murphy, Shamar Turner, Quentin Morris, the 4-down lineman for DeSoto. Jaden Milliner-Jones, Devarion Foster, Jaden Hughes, the 3 linebackers. Lathan Adams, Ashton Levels-Mitchell, Devin Bobby, and Cameron Singleton, the 4 in the secondary. Another screen. This time, though, DeSoto was ready for it. It's Wayman Smith making the tackle. And it will indeed be a bit protracted 3-and-out, but a 3-and-out just the same. And Cedar Hill will have to punt.
Yeah, without a doubt, Mike. I mean, that first down play of getting a 15-yard penalty really set them behind the chains, and it really made the play calling difficult. I mean, great screen calls, to pick up a first down, for it to come back because of another penalty. So the Cedar Hill offense has to just, slow down a little bit, kind of let the emotions out a little bit and get them down and play football.
Sky-high punt up the near sideline, a very well-executed punt by Jaden Cardell. And DeSoto will start their first series of the football game right at the 25-yard line. Already well over 2,000 of you watching with us on the WFAA YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. We really appreciate you guys tuning in for what is the game of the week across the state of Texas. Please click the like button on this broadcast and drop a comment in the chat stream as well. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're tuning in to see, perhaps who your favorite player is. If you've got a son or a grandson or a nephew, whatever the case may be, let us know in the comments. 1st and 10 here for DeSoto, and some fight on that side from Robert Richardson as he gets run out of bounds. And another flag comes in after the play. On the first play of both series, the first Cedar Hill series, the first DeSoto series, flags for extracurriculars, and it would appear both are going to go against Cedar Hill. We mentioned it off the top, John. Yeah. DeSoto made a conscious decision. Not just today, but all week, by the way. Claude Mathis told me all week he was trying to dial down the intensity.
Yep.
This game has enough of it as it is. He was trying to dial down the intensity, and it is indeed a personal foul against Cedar Hill, which is going to give DeSoto a free first down and a free 15 yards, according to David Tucker. They tried all week to dial down that intensity. They tried pregame to dial it down, warming up over at DeSoto, bussing over here about maybe an hour before kickoff, not coming out on the field until 6 minutes before kickoff, and at least in the early going, it seems to be bearing fruit, as it's been Cedar Hill that has been more prone to penalties that have hurt them in the early going. 1st and 10 run here for Samari Collier, and he's able to get right to the midfield stride, give him a pickup of 6 on the play. Collier and Robert Richardson, the starters in the backfield. Jerron Bradley, Jonte Cooks, Jaden Wilson, and Javin Vining, an extremely talented wide receiver core for DeSoto. Yakari Walker, Michael Uzawe, Travis Jackson, Cameron Lambert, and Joshua Straw, their offensive line starters. The 2nd down pass incomplete. A little bit too low, intended for Vining. Just to get to the Cedar Hill defense real quick, Harvey Dyson, Sincere Massey, Jalen Wilson, and the 3-star product, Charles Esters III, on his way to Texas Tech. That's the starting D-line for the Longhorns. Damari Ward, Jaheim Lowe, Stephen Ingram, the starting linebackers. And in the secondary, 3-star product, Amarion Williams on his way to Liberty. Brett Lynch with 7 scholarship offers, Kendall Stevens, and Tyron Bird. 3rd down and 4, an opportunity for Cedar Hill to get off the football field here if they can. Collier all day in the pocket. Now he's able to get outside. He'll have the first down and then some inside the 35-yard line. This is a young man, John, that was hurt last year, played through it all season. He's healthy this year, and it has made a difference, especially in this part of his game.
Absolutely right here, Mike. I mean, you see him evade the pressure right there in the pocket and just find some green grass. With Cedar Hill playing a deeper coverage on that last play there, giving him plenty of running room to pick up the first down.
First down handoff up the middle for Richardson. Nowhere to go. That is the teeth of this Cedar Hill defense. Sincere Massey, a big body there in the middle, 6'5", 290. Charles Esters III, we talked about him, Texas Tech commit. That D-line is hard to run against, and it's going to really need to be the part of the Cedar Hill defense that bows up big tonight against this DeSoto offense.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if Collier can get on the edge, I think he's going to have a lot of success being able to move that pocket and hit his guys out on perimeter. As we mentioned before, he has some heavy hitters out on the perimeter out wide.
Stretch play doesn't work quite like DeSoto would have wanted, maybe a gain of a yard, and it's going to be 3rd down and a long 8.
Big third down right here. One thing that I have noticed about DeSoto's offense on third down is that they like to attack the middle of the field, Mike. They've shown that on film from week in and week out. They like to attack the middle. With Collier, being a more accurate passer this year, he's been able to pick apart secondary. So a huge third down play right here coming up.
Collier had 3 wides to the right of the formation all day. Throws on the far side. It's caught by Jerron Bradley, and now he's in the open field. Bradley inside the 10, stepping his way inside the 5-yard line. 1st and goal, DeSoto.
Mike, I honestly cannot tell you how he caught this ball. I don't know. I absolutely do not know how he caught this ball.
And quickly back to the line of scrimmage comes Collier and company. 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. 2 wides to either side. Richardson on the handoff. Leg drive only gets him to the 2. Got stood up. Corey Traylor able to finish the job. Just think, we were talking so much about the Cedar Hill offense against the DeSoto defense and how great a matchup that is.
Yeah.
On this side, you got 3 at minimum collegiate wide receivers going against Marion Williams and Brett Lynch. It's not a bad matchup. Handoff here to Chris Henley, and he's not quite able to get to the end zone. Ball came free at the end, but the play was over. 3rd down and goal forthcoming. But seriously, Jerron Bradley, 4-star product. Jaden Wilson, 3-star product. Jonte Cook, just a sophomore, not rated yet, but according to Claude Mathis, may walk out of here a 5-star product. He's that good. That's a bona fide D1 Power 5 wide receiving core at the high school level. Samari Collier is living life right, by the way, against Amarion Williams, 3-star product going to Liberty. Brett Lynch has got 7 college offers. This matchup is not too shabby. This time Henley stumbles down. It's going to be 4th and goal. Henley lost his footing in the backfield. And now DeSoto faces 4th down and goal, and a decision here that appears to have already been made. DeSoto's going to go for it from just outside the 1-yard line. Cedar Hill sideline getting fired up. Their defensive front crunching down around the football. Collier out of shotgun. Henley, no, it's going to be Collier to keep it himself, and he's in.
Really, really, really great decision right there by the quarterback and Collier. They've been handing the ball off, Mike, to the running backs at least 2 or 3 times this drive, and he got the linebackers to flow right there with the play fake, and then to take it over the line and just be a big body and put up 6 points. I mean, that right there is maturity, Mike, in Collier being a senior quarterback who's been a part of this offense for quite some time, and he knows that this is his time to prove that he's an awesome, awesome quarterback.
Angel Diaz with the extra point, and it is 7-0 DeSoto. 6:39 to play in the first quarter, and the Eagles strike first. Take another look at this. Watch all of the flow go to Chris Henley. And by the time the Longhorns defense realizes it, in particular, Damari Ward was the one who maybe picked up on it first, but it was just a half a step too late. And Collier able to get that 1.5 yards. And DeSoto strikes first. I'm noticing our scoreboard seems to be flip-flopped. We'll see if we can fix that for you guys. Of course, 7-0 DeSoto here in the early going as the Eagles drive down the field. And I got to imagine if you're Carlos Lynn right now, you're not too worried, frankly, about DeSoto driving down the football field and scoring a touchdown. There are going to be points scored in this game.
Yep.
That happens.
Yeah.
But if you're Carlos Lynn, what you're saying right now is easy.
Yeah.
Keep your head in the football game. I understand the emotion that is native to this game. There's a reason for it. This game means a lot to these 2 programs, to these 2 communities. But you can't have that cost you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, high emotions like that will always end up coming out on the wrong end for you if you're, just not truly focused on your job. When it becomes more emotional than it becomes executing. So they have to, tone it down, like you mentioned, and just play football. Just come out here and play football.
And another flag, and this time DeSoto comes out of the pile celebrating. You wonder if it's going to be against Cedar Hill again. We'll see what the officiating crew decides here. Being totally honest, I didn't catch what happened there that preceded that flag. Oh, it's going to be a face mask. Okay, so it wasn't a My apologies. I saw the flag come in late, thought it may have been another post-play penalty, but no, it's a face mask. Still just as damaging from a yardage perspective.
Yeah.
But that will move the football into DeSoto territory. 1st and 10 for Caden Salter and company at the 45. Three wides to the left for Salter. Off play action. Short throw on the left-hand side for Rainey, and he's slung down.
Right there, Mike. Really, really great first down play. Just get the ball out quick, a little quick game. Getting it to his receiver right there early, picking up, 3 yards. But right here on this drive, Mike, you have to capitalize if you're Cedar Hill. Starting in DeSoto territory with great field position. You would have to imagine that they will figure out a way to tone it down a little bit and play some football and actually put up some points on this drive right here.
Salter in a little QB sweep option type look coming near side and picks up a few. 3,100 of you watching with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. We do appreciate you guys being with us tonight. Again, please click the like button and drop a comment in the comment stream. I'm already seeing the trash talk going back and forth. I do obviously enjoy that because I understand that the emotions are there. I watched about an hour and a half worth of a back and forth live stream YouTube chat about this rivalry that was a bunch of fans and parents and former players, grandparents, the whole former coaches, the whole 9 yards, as the option pitch here goes on the right side for Kevin Young, and he picks up the first down. The emotion in this game is just off the charts. I mean, this is a Great American Rivalry Series game, a nationwide recognized rivalry that has grown in leaps and bounds in the last 20 years. This game dates all the way back, by the way, to 1956. I was able to find it. I got to give a shout out here. 6atexasfootball.com, the user WOS87. This guy put together a comprehensive list of every team's history as the pass goes on the right-hand side, complete for Jaden Moore, and it looks like he's got just enough for the first down as Cedar Hill now just on the outside of the red zone. And Salter's going to hustle here. 4 wides to the left side of the formation, 1 to the right. Pressure in his face. Steps back, now heaves into the end zone, into single coverage. Oh my goodness, what a catch. Jaden Moore with the one-handed grab. You won't see a better catch this weekend. Touchdown, Cedar Hill.
Come on, Mike. Just like we mentioned earlier, they have to capitalize on this drive right here. And, I mean, you got to give a lot of credit to Salter right there. I mean, amazing catch. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I mean, give your man a chance. Put it up on the top shelf. Let him go get it. I mean, he's absolutely right there. Amazing, amazing, amazing catch by Jaden Moore to cap off a great drive.
We have not seen a better catch than that all season on Friday Night Football. Caden Salter up top for Jaden Moore. 22 yards on the touchdown pass. Salter with all kinds of pressure in his face. And then just watch. That's out of control.
That's amazing. That is truly, truly amazing. That is a young man that wanted that football right there, Mike. And I mean, again, major credit to Salter being a master craftsman right there in the pocket with, I mean, at least 4 jerseys in his face to just throw it up. He recognized that it was an all-out blitz, his man coverage. I believe that he felt confident in Jaden Moore in that matchup against Jalen Robinson, and then just put it on the top shelf. That's one thing I can definitely say as a receiver, Mike, is that I love it on the top shelf because it's either mine or it's nobody's. And right there, Jaden Moore showed that he wanted it to go up and come down with it with one hand.
Friday Night Football here on the WFAA YouTube channel. We do appreciate you guys joining us tonight. All 3,500 of you just saw the play of the year on our air. Our digital coordinator back in house is Nick Blackhall. He's impressed by that one, too. Just sent me a text message that said, okay, wow. And I think that says it all. Cedar Hill to kick it away. And that kickoff goes out of bounds. That'll be a penalty against the Longhorns, and very good field position forthcoming here for the DeSoto Eagles. Just myself 1,000 on the YouTube stream saying incredible, wow, and this is high school. Timothy Hill, who was with us last week, I should say, for the South Oak Cliff game against Mesquite Poteet, makes a fair point. He says, well, the Harrison catch last week was crazy too, and he's right about that.
Absolutely.
Justin Harrison's catch was outstanding. Those are the two contenders right now for catch of the year. I'm inclined to give it to Jaden Moore, but by a hair, because that's a very good point. That catch was also out of this world. 1st and 10, and right into the teeth of Charles Esters. Nowhere to go for Robert Richardson. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Right there, like you mentioned, Mike, that up front, that 4 up front for Cedar Hill does a really great job of stuff in the middle. And so I would assume that DeSoto would try to attack the perimeters. That's where they've had a lot of success in the last couple of weeks of just hitting the perimeters with their receivers.
That one went right through the hands of his intended target and incomplete. Javin Vining couldn't hang on. Got a big blow from Damari Ward. And it's going to be 3rd down and 10.
Big down right here, money down right here for DeSoto. They have in past games, Mike. They've done a great job of getting the ball to their stud receivers. And again, I would assume that that's going to be the same case here on 3rd down.
Collier with all day in the pocket. Now a flag, perhaps for a hold. Throws it on the right side, complete for Jonte Cook. But it would appear that's going to be coming back. It is indeed a hold against the DeSoto offense, and that'll make 3rd and 10 into at least 3rd and 20, depending on the spot of the penalty. David Tucker, our referee this evening, the umpire Jason Waters, head linesman Kelvin Rhodes, line judge Kevin Stevenson, side judge is Nicholas McFall, field judge is Kerry Moore, and the back judge is Jamie Cantrell on our 7-man crew tonight for what is truly the best game in the state of Texas this week.
Mike, major shout out to my mom. She's watching all the way from Louisiana, and she is absolutely elated with that last catch by Jaden Moore.
I believe she said that was nasty.
That was nasty. That was nasty.
I wasn't sure if it was your mom or somebody else. I didn't catch who sent the text message when you showed it to me. Now Collier's going to take off and run for it, and he leaps over a defender. He's still going to be short of the line to gain, but Samari Collier showing off the athleticism here.
I got to say, Mike, I've never seen a quarterback hurdle a defender. I definitely got to say it. This is my first time ever seeing that. I mean, great athleticism. Yeah, floating up there up top.
Collier is the punter for DeSoto, so you'll see this kind of quick kick type formation. But, of course, that can be dangerous for a defense as well. But not a situation where they're going to fake it there on 4th down and 8. Good punt from Collier. Kevin Young fields it on the run at the 25, slung out of bounds. Jerron Bradley with the tackle. And back to the Longhorns, the football goes. 3,800 of you watching right now on the WFAA YouTube channel, a new record on the WFAA YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for joining us on Friday Night Football. Again, please click the like button, click the subscribe button on the WFAA YouTube channel, as we will bring you a game here on Friday Night Football every week for the balance of the high school football season. Next week, we got a real good one, by the way. The number 5 team in the state, the Allen Eagles, hosting number 11 Denton Geyer. That one should be real good, too, so we hope you'll join us for that one. 1st and 10 for Caden Salter and company. Motion men out of the backfield into a 5-wide receiver set. Now Clemmer comes across the formation. 3:12 to play here, first quarter. Salter backtracking, trying to set up the screen, and airmailed his target. Tried to find Anthony Thomas.
Yeah, right there, Mike. Cedar Hill tried to kind of catch DeSoto off guard with a lot of window dressing there early with the motion. And you kind of saw some confusion on the back end for DeSoto, but I assume that everybody kind of figured it out, kind of made themselves close to, put themselves close to a man, and kind of came up with a fresh breath of air right there. Just seeing that Salter had to kind of get rid of the ball with pressure in his face. So major 2nd down right here. I would imagine that they would keep it on the ground.
Kevin Young and the pistol behind him. Play action. Throw on the far side, and it's intercepted. Tipped and picked off. And to the house goes Eston Levels Mitchell. Touchdown, DeSoto.
Wow, Mike. I gotta say, Mike, I gotta believe that their conscious action of handling this game as a big ball game is paying off for them early here, Mike, with a tip pick six right there early in the game. And we're not even out of the first quarter yet, and we've seen some exciting things from this DeSoto team. And so I would like to say that, them being conscious and aware enough to come into this game, level-headed, emotions turned down a little bit, has paid off for them here early in the ball game.
Ashton Levels Mitchell, a kid who's played wide receiver in the past for DeSoto, showing off the hands, off the tip. Bad snap here, though. They're going to have to try and throw it into the end zone, and nearly got two as a result. It almost kind of looked like it may have been intentional because they had a guy out in the formation immediately, and it was Shamar Turner, in fact, their stud defensive tackle. That may indeed have been an intentional two-point conversion try from DeSoto, but it goes begging, and it stays 13-7 in favor of the Eagles. Another look at the interception here. A little bit too high off the hands of Anthony Thomas. And that's the second straight pass we saw from Salter that was airmailed a little bit. Yep. Obviously a lot of energy, There's a lot going on in this game, and sometimes you have to, tamp it down a little bit, and that can manifest, especially for a quarterback, that can manifest in airmail on the football a little bit. And unfortunately for Caden Salter, we saw it on back-to-back plays. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, he is well known for being poised, being calm, being collected. And like you said, Mike, in a game like this, he has to turn that up a notch, turn it up, 10,000 notches, just because, not only because of the intensity and the hype that's in this game, but because this is an important time in the season where things have to click regularly. And so, like we mentioned before, the Cedar Hill team just has to kind of tone it down a little bit, kind of settle back into the game. Because it's very clear that they can go score. I mean, right there, the touchdown of Jaden Moore will probably be talked about for the next 2 weeks unless we see something even more wild in this game. But, they just got to find a way to just kind of tone it down a little bit and play some football.
The 35th meeting in the Battle of Beltline dates all the way back to 1956. And DeSoto with an early 13-7 lead. It'll again be good field position. And look at Kevin Young pushing the pile across midfield. Leg drive to the max. And it'll be 1st and 10 Longhorns in DeSoto territory. Another look as Kevin Young he's first contacted at the 43-yard line, John.
That is pure strength. Coach Lang likes to call him the machine. And we can definitely see why right there. I mean, just incredible lower body power right there.
Lynn says he's the type of kid that is just grinding all the time. This time, though, the handoff goes to Kylan Ashton, and he had nowhere to go.
Mike, it's hard to believe that Byron Murphy is just 300 pounds. I mean, incredible strength right there to come up with a huge tackle for loss.
Byron Murphy, 6'3", 296, committed to Baylor. Him alongside Shamar Turner is just unfair. 2nd down and 15 after the loss, and Salter's going to take off himself. A lot of running room up the right sideline. Hesitation move across the 30 and dragged down from behind. 1st and 10, Cedar Hill.
Great job right there, just being poised in the pocket. He sees it, he steps up, and he sees nothing but green grass, and he just takes it right there for a huge 1st down play to really move this ball inside the 30 and give themselves another chance to score. We've seen that when they start on the opponent's side of the 50, they have a much higher percentage of putting points up on the board.
1st and 10 at the 28 now in DeSoto territory. 4 wides to the left, little shovel pass here, and it's a lot of running room here. Up the right side for Kevin Young inside the 10-yard line. Creative little play design here, John, to set this up.
Absolutely, right there. One thing that I believe that Coach Morales sees is that when they line up in the empty formation, they get an all-out blitz. It's man-man, one-on-one coverage, and right there, it's a nice little misdirection, little power run outside right there to their main man, Kevin Young, picking up a huge 1st down.
Kyle Morales, the offensive coordinator at Cedar Hill in his 17th season with the Longhorns. 1st and goal, Salter. Turner all over him, and he just has to throw the ball away. Turner and Salter getting back up and kind of patting one another on the helmet. I mean, those are two kids that both know, hey, as big a game as this is, we're going and doing bigger and better things in the future.
Yeah.
Salter on his way to Tennessee. Get this, Shamar Turner deciding between, just listen to these 5 schools. You want to talk about the cream of the crop in collegiate football right now: Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Texas, and Texas A&M. Pretty salty. Second and goal from the 7. Salter right side, complete. Knocked out of bounds. Kevin Young on the reception, and it's going to be 3rd and goal from, looks like they're going to spot it right at the 1.
Mike, those 5 schools sound like the top 5 steaks that you could buy at a really, really nice steakhouse right there. I mean, Alabama, LSU, Georgia. I mean, I
just
don't
those
even,
three.
Just those 3. Not to mention the other 36, but just those 3 right there. Just major, major big-time schools.
3rd down and goal from the 1. $1:11 on the clock here in the first quarter in the Battle of Beltline on Friday Night Football. Salter with a man in motion and now a stoppage, and it's going to be a timeout for Cedar Hill. Carlos Lynn didn't like something he saw there, and he burns his first timeout.
Mike, I like the timeout right there. 3rd down, a major down in the ball game. Even we're still inside the first quarter. So we have a lot of football left, but that's one thing that he can see about this opportunity. This is a chance for them to tie up the ball game or take the lead even with an extra point. And so, I mean, I like the timeout here early just to kind of talk it over and make sure everybody's on the same page and allow, Salter to do his thing as being the master showman of this offense.
The 35th meeting between these two teams, a series that dates all the way back to 1956. Cedar Hill won the first ever meeting between these two teams 24-6. Over the course of the span since then, DeSoto leads the all-time series 19-15. Again, a hat tip to 6atexasfootball.com user WOS87. His long-running history that he's posted to that website was very helpful in finding all of the meetings in the history of this matchup. 11 straight years from 56 to 67, and then a big gap before they played again in 1997. 3rd down and goal, Salter following a blocker. Is he in? Yes, sir. Touchdown, Cedar Hill. Salter takes it in from a yard out off the handoff fake to Kevin Young. And with an extra point, Cedar Hill can take the lead here.
Again, Mike, right there, you see some craftiness, some creativity with a little triple option run right there for Salter. He could have given it to Kevin Young. I mean, definitely confident putting the ball in his hands. He had his receiver, Anthony Thomas, coming around in motion, kind of shift those linebackers a little bit. So, again, a lot of window dressing, a lot of creativity here early in the ball game. And I would have to imagine that they're going to have to keep that up to kind of slow down Byron Murphy and Shamar Turner there in the middle and try to get a running game going here early on in the game.
The number 6 and number 10 teams in the state of Texas in the 6A rankings. DeSoto number 6, Cedar Hill number 10. DeSoto, in fact, just climbed into the national rankings for Max Preps at number 25 just this week with their very impressive 4-0 start. They started the year with a 37-0 blitzing of Converse Judson, then knocked off a traditional private school powerhouse in Trinity Christian Cedar Hill, 62-29. The last couple of weeks, a win over Waxahachie, 42-6, a win over Mansfield Lake Ridge, 42-0. That's their 4-0 start to this season. Cedar Hill, meanwhile, maybe a bit more tested, I guess you could argue, perhaps. I'm probably splitting hairs there. They beat Arlington 28-21 to start the season. On the road, beat Aledo 27-17. And then they also have played Lake Ridge and Waxahachie and won in blowout fashion each of the last 2 weeks. Off the kickoff return here, lots of running room, but a nice tackle in the open field. Cedar Hill's coverage team looked like they were in trouble there for a moment, but swiping through for the tackle was Demarius Black. And it'll be 1st and 10 for DeSoto at the 34.
That's what we like. That's what we like to call filling the lane right there on kickoff, Mike, where everybody has a particular lane that they're responsible for, and And Damarius Black right there just doing his job and making a great open field tackle because I'm convinced that Mike Murphy may have, made one step and at least put themselves on the other side of the 50 to start this offensive drive.
Lots of running room for Chris Henley into the secondary, galloping his way across the 45.
Great vision, great cut, great lanes being open right there about the big guys up front for DeSoto.
And quickly back to the line comes Collier and company. Again, it's Henley with the handoff. This time less room, but still able to pick up about 4 on the carry. Henley was battling an injury earlier this year, but is very clearly back and healthy and running strong right now. Back-to-back carries get him across midfield. Collier on the draw, gets around the edge, around Esters, and a first down as he lowers his shoulder at the 40.
Mike, I think it's safe to say that Collier definitely has something to prove. Coming off a lower body injury last year, it's not every day, people, that you see your quarterback willing to put his shoulder and head down right there to fight for a first down. So this young man came ready to play some football tonight.
10 seconds to play first quarter, perhaps the final snap of the frame. Big handoff here, and another big run for DeSoto. They are opening holes in a big way. Down inside the 30-yard line goes Brendan White. And there's a player down afterward. Back up to his feet. It looks like it's Brett Lynch. There is a flag down afterward. It looks like it's going to go against Cedar Hill. And it is a face mask against the Longhorns. That'll be half the distance to the goal line. It'll be 1st and 10 at about the 11 or 12-yard line. 3 seconds on the clock here in the first quarter, and it looks like DeSoto will get one more snap before the end of the frame. Again, the handoff goes for Brendan White, right side, stumbling his way forward. White close to the goal line, just short. Brendan White setting up 1st and goal, and that is how the opening quarter comes to an end. 1st and goal DeSoto when we return. 27 points on the board in the first 12 minutes, and this game shows no signs of slowing down. We'll be back on Friday Night Football. Down 22, deep ball from Towns for Jaden Chambers, behind the defense. Nice move into the end zone.
Wow!
Friday Night Football, live on the WFAA YouTube channel. Every Friday night, all season. And a lightning strike from Darian Peace. Next up, the de facto can be picked. Back with second quarter action on Friday Night Football. 1st and goal, DeSoto on the opening play of the frame, stumbling in the backfield. Looks like it was Brendan White again on the carry. And it will be 2nd and goal for the Eagles.
One thing that I do like about the DeSoto offense here early, Mike, is that they go hurry up. They like to go hurry up. They like to change the pace, and that definitely catches the defense off guard. And having a dual-threat quarterback in Collier, I mean, anything is possible.
White gets the handoff again. This time he's in. Touchdown DeSoto, and the Eagles take the lead back.
Again, right there, just a good old read option play. Collier could have very well pulled it and ran it himself, but, I mean, Brendan White has been amazing this drive. The offensive line have just been clearing away from him for him up front, and Joshua Straw and Lambert and Jackson and Walker. I mean, just that whole front five is doing an amazing job of giving the everyone in the backfield, running backs and quarterbacks, room to run to put points up on the board tonight.
Extra point is up and through. And DeSoto takes the lead back 20-14. White with the handoff and the touchdown run. And we've seen 34 points in this football game in 12 minutes and 27 seconds. Hope you guys buckled in for this one because it's been a real quick start. 4,200 of you watching with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. Again, please click the like button, click the subscribe button to the WFAA YouTube channel, as we will bring you a game here on Friday Night Football every week throughout the season. Next week, a real good one. Number 5, the Allen Eagles host number 11, Denton Guyer. And we will bring you that game next week at 7:30 right here on the WFAA YouTube channel. Back and forth football game in all sorts of ways to start this game off. DeSoto's Samari Collier with a 2-yard touchdown run to open the scoring just about 5.5 minutes in. Caden Salter with the touchdown pass to Jaden Moore that is truly the best catch we've seen all year on Friday Night Football for a touchdown to tie the game up. Ashton Levels-Mitchell with the 34-yard pick six to put DeSoto back in front, but Caden Salter and company answered, drove down the field. Salter with a 1-yard touchdown run to give Cedar Hill the 14-13 lead. But just now you saw Brendan White finish off a very ground-oriented drive for the DeSoto Eagles to take the lead back 20-14 as they get set to kick it away, John. Yeah, absolutely, and that's not something that you see regularly from this DeSoto offense. They like to put the ball in the air. They like to throw the ball around. Corio last week had 372 yards passing and 5 touchdowns. So they definitely have an identity of putting the ball in the air. But right there, catching defense off guard, changing the tempo up, and creating running lanes for you and I to walk through together at the same time for these guys to get into the end zone. A little bit of a deeper kick this time from DeSoto, fielded on the run, and run out of bounds with a little more extracurriculars. Cedar Hill looking for a flag. Does not appear they will get one. We saw the Longhorns get tagged with a couple of unsportsmanlike penalties very early on in this football game. This play continued out of bounds, but the officials deemed that it wasn't quite enough to draw the flag against DeSoto's. Well, I'm not sure who that young man is. We do not have a number 4 on the roster. Now there is a flag way behind the play, and the officials are trying to stop the clock. It appears the clock must have been running after that play because there's no way that that was a 43-second kickoff return. Now there is a flag against DeSoto. My apologies. I looked down for a moment. Did I see it? Was it an offside penalty against DeSoto?
Yeah.
Okay, so they'll just add 5 to the end of this and bring it out to the 36-yard line. Clock reset to 11:19. So 29 seconds ran off the clock there erroneously, but the officials catch it and switch it back. 1st and 10, Caden Salter and the Cedar Hill Longhorns trailing by 6. These two programs combined for 4 state championships, 2006, 2013, 2014 for Cedar Hill, 2016 for DeSoto. Quarterback sweep here for Salter and strung out very well by DeSoto. Absolutely right there, making them go east and west. And that is something that Cedar Hill can't afford to do here early on in this ball game because this back 7 for DeSoto can run. A lot of these guys are former receivers, so they understand space. They understand how to run the lanes and continue the pursuit to the ball. So Cedar Hill has to find a way to go north and south, and they typically tend to do that with some runs up the middle and hitting some quick passes right there in the middle of the field. Thomas in motion. Firing near side is Salter, caught on the bobble by Clemmer, and he steps out of bounds just shy of 1st down yardage.
Right there again, Mike. They like putting DeSoto in this wide open, spread open type of formation to try to cover 5 receivers at once. And right there, just taking advantage of the space in the flats right there, just getting the ball out really quick to their receivers and trying to pick up 5 at a time. That is definitely a goal for most offenses. Every play, let's just get 5. Let's get 5. Let's get 5.
Right now, Cedar Hill needs 1 on 3rd down. Salter's going to keep it himself. Creative play design, and he runs through a tackler. Runs right through the chest of Ashton Livels Mitchell, and he's still going down to the 35-yard line. And look at the Cedar Hill sideline. Caden Salter. That's a quarterback.
Mike, I don't know what these kids ate last night, but these quarterbacks are not bagging down from a show. I mean, just running right through the defender and creating all kinds of havoc. I mean, look at these fans down below us, Mike. I mean, they are going crazy right now, and their quarterback in Caden Salter, the master showman, showing what he can do right there and putting his shoulder down.
I say again, that's a quarterback.
It's got to be in the water, Mike. It's got to be in the water out here, I think.
1st and 10 for Cedar Hill. Salter setting up the screen. Flips it over the top, and Kevin Young's got a lot of room. Inside the 20. Kevin Young to the house. Touchdown, Cedar Hill. "35 yards to the end zone. And Cedar Hill makes DeSoto pay for their pass rush up front.
Absolutely, Mike. Calling the screen right there behind that aggressive, very fast defensive front by DeSoto right there, calling a great screen to their man Kevin Young and him taking it in and doing the rest and doing his job. I mean, the Cedar Hill offense, as we can see, Mike, they can score. They can absolutely score. The thing for them is keeping their head in the game and continuing to create drives like that and coming up with creative ways to get the ball out on the perimeter. So great job right there by Caden Salter and Kevin Young of connecting right there for a great pass to put 6 points up on the board. And, again, another lead change. Take the lead right there.
The highest scoring game in the history of this series was the 2014 matchup. These two teams were ranked number 2 and number 4 in the state. Frankly, this is probably the biggest game since that night between these two teams. At the very least, the biggest regular season game since that night. They did play in the playoffs as DeSoto made their way to a state championship in 2016. That was a big one, too. That game, 65-42, Cedar Hill won. We are well on our way to a similar point total. Obviously, who knows if the pace will hold. But 41 points in 13 and a half minutes.
Mike, these kids want to play football tonight. I mean, again, being only 6 minutes away from each other, these kids know each other very well. They played against each other coming up here in the early ranks. And, I mean, this is what you expect to see. This is high school football. We're talking about the beginning of the fall. It's getting cold. Guys are just loving the weather. These fans are loving it. This is high school football for you, folks.
Mike Murphy on the return, and Mike Murphy's off to the races.
Oh,
one man to beat for Mike
goodness.
Murphy. Inside the 40. Murphy still on his feet, down inside the 25.
Now, Mike, I got to go back to the kickoff before this. Again, I mentioned he is literally 2 hiccups away from scoring a touchdown. And right there, again, showing what he can do with the ball. And Mike Murphy, I mean, literally one man away from scoring. A great job of continuing to pursue the football right there by Joey Johnson of Cedar Hill. But, I mean, this Mike Murphy kid may be a very, very dangerous return man coming up in the next 2 years.
Think about that for DeSoto. As good as their wide receiving core is, we talked about Bradley and Cook and Wilson and Vining. Mike Murphy's another potential weapon for them, and he's showing a little bit of that in the kick game. Handoff here once again for Brandon Tucker. But obviously fantastic field position to start the drive here for DeSoto, already in the red zone with the ball right at that 20-yard stripe. No gain on first down. It'll be 2nd and 10. 3 wides near side for Collier. He's going to keep it himself. Strung out to the near side and undercut. It was Charles Esters giving chase. And I think it's Stephon Ingram that comes through and finishes him off.
Great job right there of the Cedar Hill defense and making Collier go east and west. And right there, I mean, if you can make a guy go east and west, then you're going to give your fellow defensive guys time to pursue to the ball. And so great job right there of actually getting a tackle for loss and this being a long third down play to call. And so, again, Cedar Hill putting themselves in position to get off the field on third down and get the ball back in the hands of Salter.
So it'll be 3rd down and 14 now. Collier with 5 wides. And now, prior to the snap, Claude Mathis is going to call his first timeout. If you were with us last year on the WFAA Digital Network, we brought you the Battle of Beltline. This is now the 3rd straight year that we've brought you this matchup between DeSoto and Cedar Hill. Last year's game was, frankly, about as incredible as this one has been so far. 28-27, Cedar Hill won that football game. DeSoto came back late in that football game, got the ball back with $1:39 to play in the 4th quarter, drove the length of the football field. Deep ball up the left sideline from Collier to L.J. Arnold, got him into the red zone. There was kind of a mess that happened on the second to last play of the game. The officials deemed that they were, frankly, in the wrong to not grant the injury timeout to DeSoto, put 2 seconds back on the clock, and DeSoto made the most of those 2 seconds. Collier to L.J. Arnold, what we thought at the time was going to be the game-tying touchdown. Instead, DeSoto decided to go for 2, and the ball went right through Arnold's hands, incomplete. And Cedar Hill hung on to win that one. They lead this one by 1. And on 3rd and 14, a short pass here to Javin Vining.
Mike, this is definitely 4-down territory for DeSoto. They're very confident in their pass game. As we mentioned before, I mean, you have an absolute stud receiver core out there with all of the guys in Bradley and Cook and Wilson and Vining. I mean, just so many different guys you can put the ball, put in the hands of the guys that are receivers out there.
I think they thought the same way you did for a moment. They've now thought better of it and decided to run out there and try a field goal. 12 seconds on the play clock. They're going to have to hurry here to get lined up. But it looks like they're going to try the field goal with Angel Diaz from 37 yards out. Low line drive kick, and it's no good. Never really had a chance as it squirreled to the left. And Cedar Hill gets a stop.
Yeah.
In a bit of an unconventional way, probably not how they expected that to go. Frankly, I'm surprised DeSoto threw it as short as they did on 3rd and 14. If you were going to go for it, you would have obviously liked to get a bigger chunk there. But credit to the Cedar Hill defense, they just didn't allow for Collier to find anything downfield.
Absolutely, Mike. They played a tight run coverage right there on that 3rd and long. And, I mean, that's not something that you commonly see unless you're, pretty confident in your secondary like Cedar Hill is. And so great job of those guys of not only getting a big 3rd down stop, but getting, holding up on 4th down and putting the ball back into their offensive hands.
First time we've seen a stop, I think, in this game since the early Cedar Hill possession when they got stopped. Nice run here. Running hard is Kevin Young.
The machine. The absolute machine, Mike. I mean, he can take it to the house as well, as we've seen him do early in the ball game with catching that screen and taking it in for 6. So, I mean, I would assume that, Byron and Turner are going to have to find a way to slow down their run game. Kevin Young can definitely go, Mike.
2nd down and 3 after the carry. Carlos Lynn told us earlier this year he does not want to go down. He wants big yardage on every play. Now they swing it out on the right-hand side. 1st down yardage and then some for Cedar Hill as Ernie Moore makes the reception on the right side.
Nice creative play design right there, Mike. I mean, sending Kevin Young in motion, kind of giving the illusion that they're going to try to throw him a quick screen, but instead they throw a little pop pass right there to their tight end and him just taking it up the field and picking up a huge 1st down. So very, very creative play calls by Coach Morales in this Cedar Hill offense.
Ernie Moore, a junior wide receiver, 6'3", 190 pounds, and making a big play there. Helping Cedar Hill move the sticks out to the 44-yard line. Again, both backs motion out of the formation. Now the handoff off jet motion. Coming near side, it's Brian Rainey. Rainey with the wall on the left sideline, and he's out of bounds inside the 30.
This is really good for them, Mike. I mean, they've keyed in on Salter a little bit because he has shown what he can do when he pulled the football. And so that's giving, their offense, their guys on the perimeter more opportunities to get north and south with the football right there and picking up a big first down.
1st and 10 from the 28, swinging right side for Anthony Thomas, and Thomas has a lot of room. Thomas inside the 10, flag down behind the play. Check the flag here from our officiating crew. Again, David Tucker, our crew chief tonight. Cedar Hill backtracking, and it will be a hold against the Longhorns. Well downfield, but it does look like the football is going to come back at least into just outside of the 20-yard line. Place it at the 21. So it'll be 1st down and 4 now for Cedar Hill. 3 wides to the near side for Salter. 2 backs in the backfield. Saddle to the left. Young off the pitch. Good block out in front. He's got the 1st down. Lowers his shoulder inside the 15. And a little more after the play. Devin Bobby and Kevin Young getting into it.
This Cedar Hill home side is definitely calling for a flag right there for a little extracurricular right there. I mean, they've definitely been dinged with it here early in the ball game multiple times. So, ask for a little favor in return.
1st and 10, Salter fakes the handoff to Young. Now he's got the outside. Caden Salter to the corner. Touchdown, Cedar Hill.
Again, Mike, they just continue to show that they can score the football. They can score. They can put points up on the board here early. And right there, again, the showman and Salter right there getting into the end zone, proving that he can run this offense and he can score and he can allow his team to continue to take this lead. So, Cedar Hill's offense can be just as dangerous when they settle down and play some football. And so DeSoto is going to have to find an answer for an amazing run game in this Cedar Hill offense.
(28-20). Cedar Hill with the lead. Caden Salter with a 12-yard touchdown run, beating Devin Bobby to the pylon. And Caden Salter came to show what he could do tonight. 2 touchdown passes, 2 touchdown runs. And Cedar Hill on their home field looking for a 3rd straight win in this matchup. They won in 2018, 32-17. They won last year, we mentioned it before, 28-27. And tonight, midway through quarter number 2. It's 8:30.
Golly.
Midway through quarter number 2, it is 28-20 in favor of the Longhorns.
I mean, Mike, the kids aren't even in bed yet, and we have a shootout right now, Mike. I mean, 28-20. I mean, like you mentioned, Mike, this game could very well go into the upper 30s and 40s and 50s. These offenses continue to be on fire like they are.
Short kick, and Cedar Hill tried to get on top of it. Did he recover it? Officials conferring. Did he get it before it went out of bounds? This is a huge decision.
I don't think he had possession of it.
Yeah, no, he didn't. Now that I'm looking at it again, he didn't actually hang on to it, so it's going to be a penalty. I think what they're trying to decide is whether it is a penalty because he touched the football. Is that a penalty against Cedar Hill? But it should be. It still is a kickoff out of bounds, regardless of whether it is touched by the kicking team. If it's touched by the receiving team, that matters. But it should be a 5-yard penalty against Cedar Hill. And they would then walk it out. Yeah, okay, they're just finally getting the official word from David Tucker, our crew chief. 5-yard procedure penalty. and they'll walk it out from where it went out of bounds at the 32 out to the 37.
Like, I think he was so surprised that no one went for the ball that he just couldn't slow down. He's running so fast.
Well, we saw Cedar Hill do that to Aledo in the opening kickoff back in early October here on Friday Night Football, and they nearly pulled it off again. Collier, all kinds of pressure in his face, but he's able to get the corner. Big block, flag thrown, I think, on that block. So we'll have to go back and check that. Collier able to get across midfield, but it looks like it's going to come back.
Yeah, I think we may have an illegal cut right there by Robert Richardson, the running back.
Yeah, Richardson went low. Carlos Lynn looking for an explanation on the near sideline. And that's a big penalty because that substantial yardage is affiliated with that penalty. 15 yards, and they walk it all the way back to the 25-yard line. In order to gain a first down, DeSoto has to get all the way out to the 47. It remains first down, but first and 22. 3 wides to the left for Collier. Quarterback draw. Collier with blockers out in front of him, and he's able to get back out across the original line of scrimmage. And it'll be second down and 8.
Safe play call right there, Mike. I mean, first and 22. We just want to try to pick up some of those penalty yards back, and Collier right there showing that, you know, Coach, I got it. Let me run the draw. Let me pick up a quick 10 yards. I got it, Coach. And giving him a great manageable second and 8.
Picked up 14, in fact. Collier, again pressured, tries to dump it off, and Richardson just wasn't ready for it. Richardson got punished for it, too. Able to stumble back to his feet, but Richardson took a big hit. Look at the pressure being put on by this Cedar Hill front seven. It's Sincere Massey that was given chase and really disrupted that play, and now it's third down and 9. Well, they listed as third down and 9 here in-house, but looks more realistically like 8 yards to go. 5 wide receivers here for Collier. Straight drop. Fires far side, has a man wide open. Jonte Cook, first down.
Mike, I got to be honest. I mean, right there, just a great out route ran by Jonte Cook, and I'm excited for this kid's future. I mean, he's only a sophomore, and he already has 12 different colleges he can choose from, Mike. I mean, so a recent, scholarship offer from the University of Texas, and so this kid definitely has a bright future here at DeSoto.
We said it before, Claude Mathis thinks he may walk out of here as a 5-star when it's all said and done, and again they go to Cook on the far sideline. Down to the 40-yard line, give him 6 on the play. "48 points on the board in a quarter and a half tonight here on Friday Night Football. And DeSoto trying to add to that tally here. Already picked up what was a first and 22 on the previous set. Now Collier stepping through it and taken down in the backfield. Nearly got loose. But it's going to be a loss of a yard and third down and 5.
Great job right there of this Cedar Hill defense in front of, creating some pressure and making Collier, give him a little happy feet back there in the pocket, Mike, and cause him to pull it down. But again, big third down right here, 3rd and 5, and they definitely have an opportunity to pick it up.
Collier again on the quarterback draw. Lead blockers, but he's going to be short. He's going to be about a yard short. Jaheim Lowe in there to help make the stop. And decision time once again for DeSoto. 4th down, and where they spotted it there, it's going to be less than a yard to go. Have to get to the 36. Ball sits at the 37. Now they've changed the spot just a shade. Maybe it is a full yard, and they are absolutely going for it. Collier, hands off. Right guard, and tons of room for Henley. Henley off to the races. Touchdown DeSoto on 4th and 1.
2 flags.
And Cedar Hill says it's all coming back. A flag down at the 34, a flag down at the 23. They've just moved that flag to the 25. At minimum, it's offsetting penalties, you imagine, and replay the down. And if both penalties are against DeSoto, it'll be 4th and longer. Holding against DeSoto. That penalty's declined. Another hold against DeSoto. That penalty obviously will be accepted. It appears the spot of the penalty was beyond the line of scrimmage, so they walk it back, and it will be 4th down and 10 from the 46. And it certainly appears that DeSoto's going to, well, again, Collier is their punter, so they may decide to quick kick it here. He is deeper than your average shotgun formation. Nobody deep to return for Cedar Hill, and Collier will quick kick it. Sky-high punt. And a sidewards bounce helps nobody. Neither Cedar Hill nor DeSoto. Out of bounds at the 22, and the Longhorns take it back. So Cedar Hill now with consecutive defensive stops, the missed field goal, and now they force the punt here. And with a 28-20 lead, now an opportunity here for the Longhorns to build on that here in the final 4.5 minutes of the first half.
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. They can definitely continue to hold on to the momentum because they definitely have it right now. I can think of a play specifically right now where I felt like the energy kind of shifted in the air when Salter had a big run and ran over a defender and popped his helmet off. I mean, it seems as if the energy has shifted to one side versus the other, and they absolutely have an opportunity now to capitalize on this momentum.
Nice play on 1st and 10 by the DeSoto defense to string it out. Big Turner in there to help make the play. Brandon Tucker as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Big Byron Murphy right there. I mean, all of 300 pounds, people. all of 300 pounds.
Claude Mathis says it. He's a freak. 30 tackles on the year, 4 tackles for loss, 4 sacks. He's forced a fumble. He's recovered a fumble. He and Shamar Turner are a problem. 2nd down and long, a loss of 3 on that first down play, and tripped up is Salter. And it looks like it was Turner that got a piece of him. Maybe a gain of a yard. And beg your pardon, it was Wayman Smith who leads this team with 6 sacks on the year. That won't go down officially as a sack, as Salter did just get beyond the line of scrimmage. But it sets up 3rd down and a dozen.
Mike, they really like Wayman Smith as he transferred here to DeSoto as of recently. He has become a major impact player in that front defensive line for DeSoto.
Blitz coming off the right edge. Salter runs away from it. He may have the first down, and he does. Caden Salter reading the defense, getting out the right side of the pocket, and picking up the first down on 3rd and 12.
Well, Mike, I know I saw, I don't know if we can go back on the replay or not, but I know I just saw Shamar Turner try to get through 3 blockers. So I would imagine that, somebody, could have came up free to slow Salter down right there. But as the master showman as he is, he picks up a major, major first down.
That's respect. A triple team, that is serious respect. 1st and 10 after the Salter scamper. Final 3 minutes here, and a flag on the play as he flings it down the right sideline out of bounds. Over 5,000 of you watching with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. We do thank you so much for being here with us. 5158 logging in right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. Again, please click the like button, click the share button, hit the subscribe button, do it all. Let us know who you're tuning in to see, and more than anything, share this feed around with your friends and family. The flag goes against DeSoto, and it will be an automatic first down for Cedar Hill. But truly, share this feed around for your friends and family that may not know that we're doing the broadcast tonight. This game sold out in a blink. They've only got about 30 to 35% capacity tonight because of, obviously, social distancing requirements and amid COVID-19 as the penalty walks the ball all the way out to the 49-yard line. They're expecting about 2,500 to be here tonight at Longhorn Stadium. Tons of people that wanted to be here tonight, I can guarantee you, tuning in right now on YouTube. Option pitch to the right-hand side for Kevin Young, picks up a few.
Yeah, Mike, I got to believe somebody's doing something on social media. I mean, my phone is lighting up, and it's more people from Louisiana, believe it or not. I mean, people tuning in all over the state of Louisiana. We have a lot of respect for Texas football and the way that they do things here, and it is amazing to see how people all over the world get to tune in with us and just enjoy some amazing high school football here on Friday night.
Just across midfield, it'll be 2nd down and 6 for Cedar Hill, leading by 8 and looking to add to it here before halftime. Salter out of the pistol formation, play action, slings it near side. It's Rainey with the catch, bounces off the tackle initially, but run out of bounds by Levels Mitchell.
Mike, right there, trying to get a play action going right there, did not fool Shamar Turner at all, as he gave Caden Salter a lot of pressure and tried to get the ball out of his hands pretty quickly. So forcing a big 3rd down right here. They can continue to keep the momentum. Granted they convert, but this is a big down also for the DeSoto defense. You got to find a way to slow down Salter in this offense because they have been on fire, Mike.
Rainey perhaps didn't do himself a favor there by staying on his feet off the tackle, because it led to the officials marking him down at the 45 instead of at that point of contact. Makes this 3rd down a little bit longer. 3rd and 4, motion man. Salter's going to run the option. He's got plenty of room to get into the secondary, and off to the races goes Caden Salter. 45 yards for 6. Salter's got 5 touchdowns in the first half.
Again, the master showman, the magician, the man with the plan, Caden Salter right there, running a triple option, Mike. We saw that earlier in the red zone, and him just using his vision. But it could all be coming back, Mike. It could all be coming back as we see a lot of confusion.
It is. It is a hold against Cedar Hill.
Wow.
Wipe it all off the board. Great run by Caden Salter. He has had a heck of a first half, but that one gets wiped off, and it's going to be 3rd down and long now for Cedar Hill. The hold was at the 40. Walk it back to the 50. It'll be 3rd down and 9. This near sideline, the fans were losing it. Everybody went, hey, we're up. We're going to be up 2 scores going into halftime. And heck, they still could be. The drive's not over, but they were live on this near sideline.
Well, Mike, as we've seen the last couple of weeks, it's been plays called back like that have cost some teams some ball games. So, hopefully that won't be the case for this one.
3rd and 9 for Salter. 80 seconds to play. First half. Salter's going to fling it deep into double coverage. Incomplete. Tried to find Brian Rainey. And it'll be 4th and 9. And Cedar Hill will have to punt. So a 6-point penalty right there for Cedar Hill. Wiping the 45-yard touchdown run by Salter off the board.
I'm not mad at it, Mike. I'm not mad at the decision. A lot of coaches would definitely be kind of have a confused facial expression, and Salter taking a shot downfield. But I mean, you have the lead. It's a minute left in the ball game, and you want to give your guy Rainey, who is a 3-time junior Olympian, a chance to continue to increase this lead. So I'm not upset with that. I think that's fair to do here early in the ball game. But again, just a great job of DeSoto coming up with another great stop there on 3rd down and forcing this Cedar Hill offense to kind of just slow down just a little bit, give themselves a chance.
Just a hair.
Just a tad bit.
There hasn't been much slowdown in either of these offenses through the first 22 minutes and 46 seconds of this football game. But a big stop here by DeSoto, aided, of course, by the penalty, but they make the stop on 3rd and 9. And out comes Jaden Cardell to punt the football away. I believe just the 2nd time here in the first half that we've seen Cedar Hill punt the football. They went 3 and out on their opening possession. Since then, they have scored touchdowns. But they will punt it away here on 4th and 9 with $1:14 to play in the first half. Cardell to punt it away. Short kick. Bounds inside the 20 and inside the 10 and inside the 5. Look at this punt from Jaden Cardell. Perfection. And downed at the 1 by the Longhorns coverage team.
right there. I mean, it's plays like that, Mike, that can, believe it or not, people make or break a game. For a punter to get a big kick like that to roll inside the 5, I mean, that is absolutely major factors in a ball game like this that can literally come down to one play, as we saw last year in a crazy finisher. So, don't be surprised if flipping a field like that, doesn't pay off here late in the ball game.
And you got to wonder, honestly, if you're the DeSoto coaching staff, are you saying, hey, Adonis Scott, run up there and fair catch that? I mean, that could be a 25-yard difference in field position.
For sure.
Now you're risking a safety here right now. Lining up in shotgun. Snap went to the left of Collier, firing it near side, and no problem for the DeSoto offense to get out of trouble. Really nice throw from Collier, and he hits Jaden Wilson.
I gotta say, I kind of held my breath there. The snap was a little bit off, and
yeah, it was.
They kind of bobbled it a little bit there, but he was able to get the ball off and kind of get themselves out of a danger zone right there, being backed up on their own 1-yard line. So great job of Collier, just getting the ball out really quick to his man Bradley and giving themselves a little bit of a breathing room right there.
It was indeed enough for the first down, but you talk about it changing a football game. If you've got 1st and 10 at the 25 with a little over a minute to play, perhaps you might try and make something of that with the 2 timeouts that, beg your pardon, 1 timeout that DeSoto has. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 2 timeouts. 2 timeouts left for DeSoto. You might try and make something of that. When you start at your own 1, you're less inclined as a coaching staff to take that chance.
Yeah.
Listen, hey, let's just get to the locker room right now.
Yeah.
So that is a difference. Now, DeSoto has the football to start the second half, but not having this opportunity to go down and score here before halftime does make a difference in this game. Nice run here to get, again, first down yardage for Chris Henley. 22 seconds to play here in the first half. And now a timeout called by DeSoto. That's their second of the half. We do hope you'll stay with us here on the WFAA YouTube channel for halftime, as we'll get the halftime show from the Cedar Hill Longhorn Red Army Band under the direction of William Young. So do stick with us for that. We'll also give you a look at scores around North Texas once their show has come to an end and give you stats from the first half of what has been an electrifying football game between the number 6 DeSoto Eagles and the number 10 Cedar Hill Longhorns. For all intents and purposes, the zone championship, if you will. Winner of this game will play, Duncanville, most likely. Let's be real. Duncanville. They'll play, whoever wins this game will play Duncanville next week in the district championship game as the District 11 6A tries to settle out their playoff teams here in what they hope won't be a COVID-shortened season, but they planned for worst-case scenario by playing a zone schedule this year.
Yeah.
1st and 10, handoff here for Chris Henley. Give him 4 yards on the play, and that may be the final play of half number 1. 28-20, Cedar Hill. 4, not 5, first half touchdowns for Caden Salter. And the Longhorns lead it by 8 at the break. Back on Friday Night Football, just about, according to the clock anyway, about 30 seconds until the second half gets underway. DeSoto's still nowhere to be seen at the moment. Cedar Hill just making their way back out on the football field, as it is a 28-20 lead in favor of Cedar Hill through 1 half of play. Caden Salter with 4 first-half touchdowns, John. 2 through the air, 2 on the ground. Outdoing, at least so far, a very, very talented DeSoto defense.
Yeah, I mean, you got to expect that from Salter coming into this ball game. He knows that this is one of the biggest ball games of the year. I mean, it's a down the street rival. It's guys that's been playing against each other for years and years to come, and so a poised quarterback like that, confident quarterback like that, someone who's been in moments like this, you got to expect nothing less than a phenomenal performance so far from Caden Salter.
First half scores, Samari Collier with a 2-yard touchdown run. Caden Salter to Jaden Moore on a 22-yard touchdown pass to tie the game up midway through the first quarter, I should say, John. And let's just one more time, just for fun, let's show the fans what Jaden Moore did in the first quarter of this football game. This catch was just out of this world. John, take people through this one.
I mean, right here, I mean, you got Salter just being a showman in the pocket and literally just throwing the ball on faith right there because he trusts his man. And Jaden Moore, I would say the one thing that makes this catch absolutely unbelievable is his eye control and body control. That is one of the hidden skills that, you know, a lot of successful receivers have, is that they have the ability to catch footballs with their eyes and they have amazing body control. And I mean, right there is a A+ teach tape conference example presentation of how that's done in Jaden Moore.
When you say eye control,
yeah,
what do you mean by that? Just in terms of just maintaining that focus, basically?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because, you know, from being a receiver out on the perimeter, you change or you pass through a lot of things. There's a lot of distractions that'll kind of throw you off if your eyes are not right. And so one of the things that I learned early on is catch footballs with your eyes, not your hands. And coaches would constantly correct me when I would, you know, answer the question incorrectly. Catch the ball with your eyes. Catch it with your eyes. Because if you can see it, you can catch it. And so once I kind of adapted that, I started to understand that. I used it. It elevated my game. I teach the kids that I train the same thing, is that if you can see it with your eyes, you can catch it. 1,000% true a lot of the times. If you can see it with your eyes, you can catch it. And then with body control, I mean, that just comes from your natural athletic ability.
That is former LSU and TCU wide receiver John Diarse on color commentary here with us on Friday Night Football, a former 4-star recruit out of the Louisiana area, and now good enough to join us here this season on Friday Night Football and give you guys a little analysis of what has been a fantastic first half of football between the Cedar Hill Longhorns and the DeSoto Eagles. The 35th meeting of these two teams dating all the way back to 1956. They played every year for 12 straight years, from 56 through 67, then did not play for 29 years. The rivalry resumed in 1996. They played 96, 97, and then they've played every year since the year 2000, except for 08 and 2010. The last 16 meetings, John, dead even, 8 apiece. That tie gets broken tonight, and at least through one half of play, Cedar Hill in the driver's seat with a 28-20 lead.
Absolutely. I can believe it, Mike. I mean, these two programs know how to win. They know how to get the job done, and they know how to bring their energy, as we can hear the loud horn here in Longhorn Stadium with this amazing crowd. I mean, Mike, to say that we are, you know, respectfully, you know, social distancing, this is an amazing turnout tonight. Probably one of the best attendances that we've seen. And then, you know, with all the views on YouTube, the whole break, Mike, I was getting major texts and calls and loves from people all over. The majority of Louisiana, just because that's where I'm from and my family supports me that way, and all of my friends and former coaches. But, I mean, people from all over are texting me saying that they are tuning in to this amazing game tonight, and we have a very, very, very exciting second half coming up.
To that end, the 4,173 of you that are tuned in right now on the WFAA YouTube channel, please send a text to your friends. Let them know, hey, second half's about to start right now. Short kickoff here from Cedar Hill, fielded on the far sideline, 32-yard line by Mike Murphy. Little return on the play, but good field position here to start off the second half for Samari Collier and company.
Absolutely right there, Mike. I mean, kind of giving that sky kick again. Now, I would be kind of, you know, a little bit more hesitant to kick it to Mike Murphy, as we saw earlier. I mean, he is literally 2 blinks of the eye away from scoring and returning a touchdown on the kickoff. But, you know, to start on the 35 is a good starting position, and it gives Collier a chance to lead this offense down the field.
First play of the second half, a handoff up the middle for Chris Henley, dragging tacklers, flag behind the play. Thrown at the feet of some offensive linemen. We'll check to see what the officiating crew has to say here. David Tucker, our crew chief tonight, the referee, his umpire Jason Waters. Kelvin Rhodes, Kevin Stevenson, Nicholas McFall, Kerry Moore, and Jamie Cantrell rounding out the 7-man crew. Penalty goes against Cedar Hill, and it's going to walk the football all the way inside to the 40-yard line.
Oh, wow.
And first and 10 for Collier and company. Motion man is Richardson. Collier looking left side, complete for Jonte Cook. Nicely handled. Nice tackle from Damari Ward.
Right there, Mike, that's just Jonte Cook just, running a little option route. He has an option to go inside or outside, and they like for him to run this route against being matched up against a linebacker inside. And so, they want to take advantage of matchup opportunities like that when they get them.
Pickup of 3 on the play, 2nd and 7. Henley now in there at running back. Motions out of the formation. Collier on QB draw, and a lot of running room right up the gut for Samari Collier. Spun down, ball came out. Ball is loose, a lot of black jerseys in there. And somehow Collier comes out of the pile with the football.
Got to be more careful right there, running through the middle of the field. Just kind of carrying that ball a little loose. I mean, great job of a heads-up play right there.
Look at that bounce right back to him.
Right back to him. I mean, Brett Lynch had the right idea going for the football right there and trying to poke it out and force the turnover. But a great job of Collier for scooping it in real quick and, setting up for a first down inside the 25.
Samari Collier's heart maybe just came out of his throat for a moment there, but fortunate enough to scramble back on top of it, and it's 1st and 10 at the 18. Collier with 5 wides, slinging it left-hand side for Cook. Not able to break free of the tackle. A nice catch by Kendall Stevens and a fantastic catch up here in the booth by John Diarse as our papers went flying. And I'm telling you, if I didn't believe this man played wide receiver at the Division I level, the catch he just made of our notes, it's right up there with Jaden Moore's catch in the first half. That was pretty special, my friend.
Instincts right there, Mike. Instincts. They never leave you.
2nd and 1, handoff, Henley, first down. It'll be 1st and goal at the 5 for DeSoto.
What I like about this drive, Mike, they are definitely mixing in some pass and run and being pretty balanced. And Coach Andy Padron right there of mixing some run and passes in there, whether it be quick passes or quick dives. They are definitely taking advantage of these running lanes and passing opportunities right here against this Cedar Hill defense.
This time nowhere for Henley to go, as quickly in the backfield was Jaheim Lowe, and it'll be 2nd and goal from the 4. DeSoto with a touchdown run from Samari Collier, a touchdown run from Brendan White, and the pick 6 from Ashton Levels-Mitchell, trying to add to it here. Off play action, end zone, Bradley, touchdown. There's a flag behind the play. So put a hold on this just for a moment. Marion Williams trying to say that was offensive pass interference, and that is exactly what the call will be. And that was pretty obvious. He ripped him to the ground.
Absolutely. I mean, it's definitely a lot of hand battling right there, but you cannot pull them forward and kind of propel your way through to a touchdown. I mean, I love the mentality. I love the mindset right there by Bradley, but you just can't be that aggressive out there on the perimeter. Those back judges are definitely paying attention. So
that's going to get called just about every time. So that takes a touchdown off the board. And it turns 2nd and goal into a now 19-yard affair. A 4-yard touchdown pass erased by the penalty. Collier will have 3 wides to the right. Henley in the sidecar with him. Collier pressured, lofts it, end zone, just through the hands of Chris Henley and incomplete.
I love the play design right here, Mike. I mean, it's a 2-shell look, 2-safety look by the Cedar Hill defense right there, and they kind of play inches away from a completion right there. I mean, trying to get that matchup problem with Robert Richardson right there on the linebacker. So great play call right there, but just missed it by a hair.
That throw from Collier was really, really good, only just barely missed him. Kind of reminiscent of like a Russell Wilson kind of throw. Lofted it downfield to the running back. But it goes begging, and it's 3rd and goal now from the 19. 5 wides for Collier. Motion man is Cook. 4 wides now to the right. Pressure off the right edge. Throwing into double coverage in the end zone. Did he make the catch in bounds? No, they say it's incomplete. There is a flag on the play. Bradley came out looking for a flag. If it's against Cedar Hill, this would be an automatic first down. Let's see what David Tucker's crew has to say here. You might be able to hear a near-side Cedar Hill fan saying that's a pick. It was very clearly ruled incomplete, but the flag is what's more important here.
Wow.
And it's pass interference against the Cedar Hill defense, and it's going to be 1st and goal. See if we can catch what happened here. The flag was thrown away from that side of the field. I don't believe that it had anything to do with Jerron Bradley. It's kind of thrown at the feet of Javin Vining. But Vining was never contacted. I'm not real sure what the penalty was, but either way, it sets up 1st and goal from the 4 for DeSoto. Collier with 5 wides, 8 seconds on the play clock. Snap to his right, but he's able to corral it, throws left side. Did he catch that on the redirection? Yes, he did. What a catch by Jerron Bradley.
Wow.
Off the deflection by Jonte Cook. Now the officials are conferring and discussing a little further. Initially, it was signaled a catch.
They definitely got to talk about this one.
Let's see what the officials say here, and then we'll show you the replay. And now they do say it's incomplete. Tipped, and Bradley, they're going to say his feet were on the sideline, and it's incomplete. Very nearly a sensational catch by Jerron Bradley.
I love the act right there, though, right? They say fake it till you make it. He definitely jumped up right there. That's one of those little secret tips as a receiver. You always jump up like you catch it. They might actually give you one from time to time.
They nearly did.
Yeah.
But the officials confer, and it certainly appears that they made the right call, and it's 2nd and goal from the 4. Collier, handoff, and Henley stood up. This Cedar Hill front does not mess around.
Absolutely not, Mike. What they've done here in the red zone, as you expect, they've crowded the box a little bit more with more bodies, and they're kind of manning up there on the outside with these stud receivers for DeSoto, almost challenging Collier to put the ball in the air. And so this is a major 3rd down right here. I would love to see the creativity that may come out of this play of trying to see, where's the best matchup and how can we get him the ball as soon as possible.
Henley lost a yard there on 2nd and goal, so it's 3rd and goal from the 5. Collier scrambling, trying to get the edge. Collier flagged down behind the play. They're going to mark him just shy of the goal line. And you can see in the foreground Sincere Massey standing near the flag and signaling that it will go against DeSoto. Collier was a little slow to get up there, but now hobbles his way back to the huddle. And it will indeed be a penalty against DeSoto and a replay of 3rd down. So we've seen penalties knock these teams backward and forward. Massey got taken to the deck by Cameron Lambert, and the flag will walk it all the way out to the 15, and it will be 3rd and goal once again.
Now, Mike, I've definitely seen situations like this where this you do not want a holding penalty on 3rd down, being that close to the end zone, but they've kind of given themselves a little bit of room to be a little bit more creative with their passing game, in which they like to do, and lining up in this empty set. Cedar Hill has now shifted to 3 safeties deep, trying to slow down this passing attack.
5 wides again for Collier, and now a flag at the snap, and it's a false start. And if you wanted some room for your passing game, now you've got a little
now
bit
you got
more.
it.
3rd down and goal from the 20 now. And the near side Longhorn fans are fired up. The Cedar Hill sideline trying to get them going a little bit. Place it right at the 20 and 3rd and goal once again for DeSoto. Now a stoppage here by the officials as they talk to the near side Cedar Hill coaching staff. Clock ticked down to 7:56. I think they might be correcting that, or at least attempting to. 10 seconds back on the board. So Collier with 5 wides once again. 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Pressure off his right edge, has to step up, and he's taken down. Coming off the right edge for the sack is Charles Esters III, the Texas Tech commit, with a big play, and it's 4th and long.
Right there, one thing that I really love that Charles Esters did right there was use his hands, Mike. I mean, he's definitely come off the edge with a little bit of tempo, a little bit of speed, but he had a quick windshield wipe, as they like to call it right there, to bend that edge and come up with a big play on 3rd down. That is a major, major play by Charles Esters III, the Texas Tech commit.
So we've seen DeSoto try a long field goal already once in this game, this time from 36 yards out. That's a better kick, but still not quite enough to get through. No good, and another stop for the Cedar Hill defense. Angel Diaz got a better foot on that one than he did the first one, but it falls just short and wide to the right, and it stays 28-20. So a miss from 37 in the first half, a miss from 36 here early on in the second half. And with 7:17 to play in the third quarter, Cedar Hill with their first possession of the second half, leading by 8, and now an opportunity to add to it. Salter slings it right side, complete, and a first down out across the 30-yard line. And Cedar Hill starts the drive strong as Jaden Moore makes the catch.
Right there, just taking what the defense gives you, Mike. I mean, if they're going to play off coverage, I mean, you definitely take 5 yards all day on a little 5-yard hitch route. So great job of Salter of recognizing the defense, understanding coverage, and getting that ball out in a hurry.
I'll tell you what, this is a big spot for the DeSoto defense where you need to make a stop right now. Down by 8, can't afford to go down by 2 scores. Salter, option play, hesitation, taken down. Brandon Tucker able to roll with that little hesitation move from Salter. It'll be 2nd and 6 after the pickup.
Like you mentioned before, Mike, this is a great opportunity for DeSoto to make a play on defense. I mean, you know, a 3-and-out would be great, but I in my personal opinion, I believe a turnover would definitely do them some great deal right here, being down 8 here midway through this third quarter.
Salter's going to keep it himself, and he just meets a wall of white jerseys. Shamar Turner leading the way. Byron Murphy getting some push and getting off his block. And it's actually Levels Mitchell that came in and finished him off.
Absolutely right there. I mean, Shamar Turner right there kind of playing that very tricky position right there, defense end, trying to defend a read option right there. But he did a great job of keeping his leverage and causing, you know, Salter to keep the ball and, you know, force a 3rd down.
3rd down and 8 after the loss of 2. Salter rolling right, firing deep, single coverage. Big adjustment on the ball and a great catch by Jaden Moore. He's had a fantastic night.
Mike, one thing in our notes that we have about Jaden Moore is that he doesn't drop many passes. Tonight, Mike, I'm not sure if I've seen him drop any. One of the things he did, which was so amazing right there, Mike, he was able to adjust to the ball a lot faster than the defender and gave himself an opportunity to pick up a great first down right there.
1st and 10 for Cedar Hill in DeSoto territory, all the way down to the 27-yard line. Past the midway point of the third quarter. And the Longhorns looking to add to this 8-point lead. Handoff. Nice cut by Kevin Young, and Kevin Young's trying to get to the pylon. Kevin Young to the house. 28 yards for the touchdown. Cedar Hill with a lightning strike, and they're up 2 scores.
Again, Mike, this is Kevin Young. This is the machine, as Coach Lynn refers to him too. And I mean, right there, great cut, great job of stuttering his feet a little bit and kind of allowing his blocks to set up and then hitting the gas right there and just punching it all the way to the pylon to take a even bigger lead here late in this or midway through this third quarter of this ball game. Great job by Kevin Young right there, racing to the end zone and putting up 6 points on the board.
On for the PAT now is William Rhodes. Rhodes handles the PATs. Their punter, Cardell, would handle any potential field goal attempts for Cedar Hill. Certainly any field goal attempts of any substantial length. But Kevin Young with the first touchdown today that didn't involve Caden Salter. And a dream start to this second half for the Cedar Hill Longhorns. A stop, they get the missed field goal from DeSoto, and they drive right down the football field and take a 35-20 lead. The big throw from Salter down the right sideline for Jaden Moore on the great adjustment, and then Kevin Young finishing the job right here.
Mike, I can definitely tell you it's not hard for them to settle into this ball game with a great support system that they have here tonight at Longhorn Stadium. I mean, you got the guys running through with the flags. You got the band who's been playing ever since halftime. You got just fans everywhere over here on the near side. I mean, so, you know, having that home crowd behind you does a lot to your energy, and it can affect the momentum of the ball game. So great job by this Cedar Hill team of pulling it together. They had, you know, some costly mistakes there early in the ball game, but they've settled in, they played football, and here they are with a 2-possession lead.
In the history of this matchup, certainly in the recent history of this matchup, it seems like games have gone in runs. Go back to 2011, DeSoto won 2011, 2012, 2013, won 3 straight. Cedar Hill then in 2014 and 2015 won back-to-back games. 2016, both regular season and postseason, DeSoto won back-to-back, and then also won in 2017 for 3 straight DeSoto wins. But now 2018, Cedar Hill won, 2019, Cedar Hill won, and tonight, a 35-20 lead for the Longhorns here midway through the third quarter as they look for a 3rd consecutive victory in the Battle of Beltline. Penalty after the play knocks the kickoff back 15 yards. Nice kick, though. And now scrambling back to corral it is Adonis Scott, and great coverage from Cedar Hill. Tell you what, for having your kickoff knocked back 15 yards, you can't ask for your kickoff team to do it any better than that.
Absolutely right there. They have absolutely covered that kick. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and it was able to stop them right there inside their 20. So great job by this kickoff coverage team of doing their job, and that's pinning them down deep into their own side of the field.
So 1st and 10 for Samari Collier and company, and this is unfamiliar situation, a very unfamiliar situation for the DeSoto Eagles after the season they've had thus far, 4-0, and they've won each of their games in dominating fashion. Very little running room there on 1st and 10, maybe a yard. But Cedar Hill blew out Converse Judson, a team that was ranked in the top 25 at the time and is still, by the way, ranked in the top 25. They're 5-1. And their only loss is 37-0 against DeSoto. That's a ranked team in the top 25, one of the best teams in the San Antonio area. And DeSoto blew the doors off of them. Then they play Trinity Christian Cedar Hill, one of the top private school programs in the state year in and year out. We do have a player down for Cedar Hill, by the way. We'll try and check the number on that. But DeSoto then plays Trinity Christian Cedar Hill in their 2nd game of the year, 2 weeks after that Judson win. Fell behind early in that game, 10-0, had a little bit of a shaky start, and is back up to his feet. Trying to catch a number there. Looks like it might be Jaheim Lowe, their middle linebacker. and walking off under his own power. But they blew out Trinity Cedar Hill, 62-29. Waxahachie and Mansfield Lake Ridge are frankly not as good as the top of the district is, and so DeSoto's won comfortably in those two games as well. So they haven't really found themselves in a situation like this, save for maybe, if you want to make the argument, the first couple of moments of that Trinity Cedar Hill game, and they did respond to that shaky start, falling behind 10-0. But they need to call back to some of that right now. Down 15 here. Getting late in the third quarter. Collier on 2nd and 8. Has a man, flips it to a wide open Jaden Wilson across the 40 and all the way out to the 48-yard line, and now a flag. Is that going to go against Kendall Stevens for a late hit there?
Mike, I don't know if I like that call, Mike. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that one.
Listen, just to be as fair as possible here, and that is indeed the call. It is a late hit against Cedar Hill. Oh, it's that one. Okay, it's that. I'm sorry. I thought they were calling it on Kendall Stevens. That's a little different. That play there, it's Stephen Ingram coming through and making contact with him after the play was long since over. That's a little more fair. However, I can understand if you're a Cedar Hill fan sitting at home going, hang on a second, we've seen similar stuff done by DeSoto that hadn't drawn a flag over the course. I'm just saying I can understand the argument. From an impartial observer, I can understand the argument. But the 15-yard penalty, which I think, is a fair penalty. I'm not trying to say it's not, but there were a couple against Cedar Hill or against DeSoto, I should say, that could have been called as well. Anyway, 1st and 10 at the 37. Collier deep over the middle, nearly intercepted as he underthrew his target. It was Brett Lynch that nearly slid underneath this one, John.
Absolutely, Mike. They're trying to attack the middle of the field right there with the deep pass right there over the middle. But one thing that this Cedar Hill defense has done, they have continued to have two safeties deep on the back end of their defense to kind of slow down this passing attack. And, you would assume that, DeSoto will make the adjustments and turn to their run game, which has worked for them at times. But they're going to continue to try to put the ball in the air and gain some major yardage.
Collier pressured again, slings it out to the near side. That was a dangerous play. They're going to call it incomplete. There is a flag on the play back by the 28-yard line, by the way, downfield. But that ball didn't go forward. That, frankly, should have been ruled a fumble. Yeah. Now, DeSoto got on top of it. There's no change of possession here, but a very dangerous play there by Collier. Now we'll check the flag and see what David Tucker and company have to say. Looks like it's going to go against Cedar Hill, though. Defensive holding. 10-yard penalty brings it down to the 27-yard line and a fresh 1st and 10. Watch this again, though. This ball very much goes backward. Maybe lateral at the very, but certainly wasn't a forward pass. Not at all. And that's tough for Cedar Hill's defensive guys on the back seven to try to stay in coverage for that long. Just out of habit, you go to reach for a guy if you're close to him. Collier pressured again and taken down. This time the ball does come out. Scooped up. Yakari Walker was looking for glory right there, the left tackle, trying to scoop it up and run with it. Taken down for a big loss. Mike, again, I want to believe that was Charles Esters. Again, he's a Texas Tech commit. I think Esters made the final contact that looked like the one who was chasing him down initially was Ian Bradley. The two combined on the play. Bradley had him from behind, and then Esters was underneath him and knocked the ball free. Pressure. Absolute pressure from their front four. And now you see here with three safeties deep, they've gone to three defensive linemen because they know that in order for DeSoto to make up for that major loss, they're going to have to take a shot here. Whether it's something quick or whether it's deeper down the field, they're going to have to take a shot. So that's a great job by this Cedar Hill defense of adjusting as we go through this game. The Longhorn faithful loving it as a 5-yard penalty for a false start knocks them back even further all the way to midfield. To get a first down, they have to get to the 18-yard line. Collier, quarterback draw. He'll earn back a few of those yards, pickup of 7. Just about 4,800 of you watching with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. Again, please click the like button, click the subscribe button, as we'll bring you a game here on Friday Night Football every week on the WFAA YouTube channel. Again, drop a comment in the chat stream as well. Let us know where you're watching from. We tend to have people watching from all around the country, parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're tuning in to see, who your favorite player is on these two football teams as well. 3rd down and a mile. Collier heaving it into the end zone. Only black jerseys back there, and they knocked each other off the football.
Yeah.
Could have and should have been an interception for Cedar Hill. Would have gone down as an arm punt more than anything else, so it wouldn't have hurt DeSoto much anyway. But Brett Lynch had a chance at it. They all went for it, and as a result, nobody got it. It was Keandre Jackson who had his hands on the football.
It's kind of a free fall right there, Mike. I mean, 3 guys back there trying to get to the ball. It's
like a pop fly in baseball. Yeah. Somebody call it and
somebody
make the
call
catch.
It. I got it.
4th and 25, and it looks like they'll quick kick it again here. Line drive kick from Collier. Will it check up inside the 5? Bradley tried to get to it but couldn't quite, and it will come out to the 20 as a touchback. So Cedar Hill's defense again with the stop.
Yep.
We talked so much about DeSoto's defense coming into tonight. And don't get me wrong, they're fantastic. But tonight, Cedar Hill's defense has done some serious work, especially as we got late 2nd quarter and now into the 3rd quarter. DeSoto scored 20 points in the opening 12 minutes and 27 seconds of this football game. They have not scored since. Multiple big defensive plays from Cedar Hill over the course of these last 2 quarters.
Absolutely, just adjusting. I mean, with DeSoto coming out playing fast, I mean, it's hard to kind of get a jump on them. But as the game has gone along, Mike, as you mentioned, they've made adjustments. They've added more guys in the secondary because, you know, for DeSoto, their identity is getting the ball down the field. So they've done a great job of adjusting.
That was Cedric Harden Jr., the backup quarterback for Cedar Hill, with the carry there. He is a gifted enough athlete that they try and get him on the field in a lot of different spots because he's just too talented a sophomore not to give him the football, get him some touches every single week. A loss of 2 on the play, though. It's 2nd and a dozen for Salter. Backtracking and fires low, incomplete.
Great job of Shamar Turner right there, you know, creating havoc up front and then putting that pressure on Salter to get that ball out a lot sooner than he wanted to. He was going to his main man, Jaden Moore, who's been fantastic tonight down the field for this Cedar Hill offense. But great job, again, by Turner, just adding more pressure to Salter and, you know, making him trying to give it up a lot sooner than he wants to.
3rd down and a dozen now. An opportunity for DeSoto's defense. They need to make a play, and the screen pass to Kevin Young. Can he make a man miss? Fights through the tackle momentarily, but ultimately taken down. Jaden Milliner-Jones, the stud sophomore, making the tackle. And Cedar Hill will have to punt.
Right there, I mean, they've been very successful with the screen pass tonight, Mike, several times. We even saw Kevin Young score one of these earlier in the ball game. But right there, DeSoto, this kind of feels familiar. We've kind of felt this play before. Let's shut it down before it gets started. And great job of forcing a 3 and out and giving their offense another possession to get back into this ball game.
High snap there, but the punter able to corral it. Cardell's punt with a fantastic punt and a big bounce inside the 30. Out of bounds inside the 25. Jaden Cardell with a bomb. And a celebration from the coaching staff after that one. He unleashed a beauty. Real quick to go back to that 3rd down play, credit to Jaden Milliner-Jones. Only a sophomore. This kid is a kid they've got real high hopes for over the course of the next 2 years. So patient. Broke down, waited for Kevin Young to make his move, and did not. That is a fundamentally sound open field tackle from a sophomore. Really, really impressive play.
Absolutely. Big time. Big stop right there for that defense. And, again, giving their offense another opportunity to try to drive the field. And as you mentioned before, Mike, they haven't had a lot of success here as we're inching up to the end of this 3rd quarter with a minute and a half left.
First and 10 for Collier. All day in the pocket. Now trying to scramble. Fires downfield into a lot of traffic. Unfortunate that fell incomplete.
Right there, he definitely had more time than usual, Mike, in the pocket, and kind of broke the pocket trying to get guys to move around. But you know, some of these receivers are kind of getting tired as we get here late in the game, and you got guys in the same spot, so that's just kind of a cloudy situation for a quarterback to try to force a ball into.
$1:21 to play, third quarter, and they go with the reverse. Vining with Collier out in front, lead blocking. Vining's got the first down. A pickup of 11 on the play.
I like it. Unconventional second down play, but you've given this defense some misdirection. They've been flowing pretty well all night, getting, east and west, trying to slow down this running attack. And so great job of kind of switching up there on second down.
I'm liking the QBs tonight. We've seen Caden Salter run right through a guy. We got Samari Collier out lead blocking on the reverse. QBs can hit a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. There's got to be something in the water out here, Mike. These QBs are a little bit different.
Certainly different than me. I didn't hit anybody when I played quarterback back in the day. Nobody. My high school teammates will tell you that, I guarantee you. Second down carry picks up a few here for Robert Richardson. It's going to be third down and short here for DeSoto. Final 40 seconds of the third quarter on a beautiful 62-degree night in Cedar Hill, Texas. Two of the top 10 teams in 6A, and a flag on the play here is going to give. So going to give DeSoto 5 yards there, and it'll be a replay of second down. So instead of third and about 3, it's going to be second and 2. Hand off to Richardson again, and so much traffic in the backfield. Sincere Massey.
That young man is causing some headaches down there in the middle of that defensive line. I mean, he is a transfer into this program, and he has done nothing but show his ability, holding down that big defensive line front, sitting at 6'5", another 290, 300-pound guy, closing up that run game for this Cedar Hill defense.
And that'll be the final play of quarter number 3. Cedar Hill with a 35-20 lead on DeSoto, heading to the fourth on Friday Night Football. Back at Longhorn Stadium, fourth quarter action, third down and 4. I call it 3 for DeSoto, and it's Collier out of shotgun. All day in the pocket, fires to an open man downfield. Did he hang on? What a catch by Javin Vining. Are you kidding me? Some of the athleticism we have seen today. What a catch by the senior.
I mean, tremendous focus right there as they go up-tempo right here trying to get back on the ground.
Up the middle, Henley carries for 5. They could hardly even set the sticks, and DeSoto was already back going. But what a catch by Javin Vining.
Absolutely. He's their most improved player on this offense, and he definitely showed by right there.
Henley again up the middle. First down, DeSoto. Flag on the play on the near sideline. DeSoto very clearly trying to go as up-tempo as possible. Check the flag. Looks like the penalty was against Cedar Hill. We never really got a signal from David Tucker. It appears it's going to be first down. Yeah, they're going to move the sticks now. DeSoto's going so fast, the officials, the chain gang, nobody can keep up, least of all the Cedar Hill defense, and that's exactly what DeSoto's trying to create here in the fourth quarter with a tired Longhorns defense. 1st and 10 at the 29. Collier over the middle. Jerron Bradley with a nice catch and lowers his shoulder into 4 Cedar Hill defenders.
Mike, here they are again with their up-tempo offense. They like to do this. This gives them an advantage for sure of hurrying up and getting to the line and getting the ball snapped.
Up the middle in the hands of Brendan White. And that is just enough for a first down. And Collier right back to the line of scrimmage, looking to the sideline, and offensive coordinator Andy Padron. They'll make a quick swap of running backs here as Henley will come on, and that will give Cedar Hill the opportunity to make a substitution in kind. 1st and 10 at the 19. Collier again with all day, fires high and incomplete. Fortunate that wasn't intercepted.
Right there, I love the play call right there, Mike. I mean, getting those linebackers to flow and chase guys, but he just missed the throw just by a tad bit. Trying to get the ball open. Absolutely, wide open run across the middle. And I know that's a throw that he would love to have back if he could get it again. But again, I mean, creative play design right there, getting those linebackers in some uncharted territories right there, kind of having to cover more ground. So great job of, setting up that play call.
2nd and 10. Henley goes in motion. Deep ball up the near sideline into the end zone. Cook makes the catch. Touchdown, DeSoto.
Mike, that is a grown man catch right there. That's a grown man catch by a young sophomore who's getting offers very, very quickly because of plays like that he can continue to make. He has an amazing ability to adjust to a ball and attack a football in the air. Great job of Jonte Cook right there, going up and getting him 6.
And now they're going to go for 2 here and try and make it a 7-point football game. Collier. Time. Open. Bradley. 2 more. 35-28. DeSoto's cut the lead to 7. One more look at the touchdown. A 19-yard hookup from Collier to Jonte Cook, the sophomore, with his team-leading 7th touchdown reception of the year. We've said it a couple of times already tonight, but it bears repeating. Claude Mathis thinks this kid may just walk out of DeSoto in a couple of years as a 5-star prospect. Super, super talented kid. Already 6 foot 165 as a sophomore. You can only imagine he may add to that frame over the course of the next couple of years. 12 college offers to Mull. Just added the University of Texas to that list 2 weeks ago. Offers from elsewhere in the SEC and Big 12 as well, and makes, as you called it, a grown man catch on a 19-yard touchdown pass. And with 10:33 in the fourth, it's back to a 1-score game. So DeSoto to kick it away. Angel Diaz to send it deep for the Eagles. Brian Rainey and Anthony Thomas deep for Cedar Hill, but a short kick fielded at the 31, and it's Kevin Young, the running back. He can make some plays around the corner, across midfield. Finally corralled at the 40-yard line, mark him down at the 39. And again, great field. This has been kind of one of the themes of the night. Cedar Hill has had great field position all game long.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and it makes your play calling a lot easier when you can start either at the 50 or on the opponent's side of the 50. It gives you all type of daylight and joy if you're calling the plays for their great quarterback and Caden Salter. But Kevin Young, I mean, absolutely is living by his name, the machine, as Coach Lynn likes to call him right there.
But it looks like a flag is going to bring all of this back. A hold, we're just getting the signal just now from David Tucker and his crew. A hold against Cedar Hill wipes all of that off the board. Another one of the themes, frankly, of this game, John. Penalties have been debilitating for both of these teams in some key spots.
Absolutely. I mean, it started with emotions being high and guys, just kind of taking some chops at each other, and then, here in the ball game is where that mental fatigue starts to set in. You start to get tired, long plays, long drives, and guys start to kind of make some mistakes. So whoever can stay mistake-free will win this ball game.
Salter on the option. Devin Bobby hanging on for dear life. Otherwise, Salter may have been way downfield.
Absolutely right there. They love that triple option play. That is the third time that they've run it for a pretty nice game, Mike. They love bringing a guy in motion and kind of using that window dressing that they like to do. We saw that a couple weeks ago. And getting Salter out on the edge where he's dangerous. He can either pitch it and give it to Kevin Young, who is a walking house call, or he can keep it himself and turn it into a touchdown. So great job of their offensive coordinator and more I can't even say his last name. Can't even get it out. Morales. Of giving Salter the opportunity to get on the perimeter.
Salter lunges forward for the first down there. Just to the 35-yard line and a fresh 1st and 10 for the Longhorns. Cedar Hill leads it by 7 in the 35th meeting in the Battle of Beltline. 9 minutes, 24 seconds to play in the 4th quarter. Motion man is Thomas. Handoff. And in the backfield again is this DeSoto front 4. Cameron Guyton making the play. The defensive line for both of these teams, John, they've been impressive tonight. They've shown why they are as highly sought after as they are.
Absolutely. They have, both sides done a great job of slowing down the run attack and forcing, both quarterbacks to get on the perimeter to make plays. And, then that turns into your wideouts or your secondary having to, come up with a big play. But they have done a great job of slowing down this run attack.
And this was done from the start. Shamar Turner read that play in no time. Shot the gap after the pulling guard and took him down in the backfield in a blink.
It's a great play call right there on defense to run a nice little stunt up front, call it a twist from the inside guys going out and the outside guys coming in right there. And Turner just firing through the gap right there to come up with a big tackle for loss.
A loss of 7 on the play. It's 3rd and 18 for Salter. 4 wides, under 8 in the 4th quarter. Pressure again. Salter. Finally run out of bounds. It's Byron Murphy giving chase. And now flags behind the play. We're going to see who this goes against, but DeSoto certainly feels like it's going to be against Cedar Hill. Some extracurriculars after the play. I believe it was Brian Rainey who got tangled up with the DeSoto defensive back. David Tucker and his crew trying to sort this one out. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Cedar Hill. We have seen, frankly, a handful of those over the course of the evening. The officials are still trying to figure out where the football is going to be after all of that. Salter was run out of bounds at about the 26, 27-yard line. And they'll walk it back from there. Half the distance to the goal line. A huge play from a field position perspective, as not only does DeSoto make the stop, and it's now 4th down and forever, but that basically just chunked 15 yards off the punt for all intents and purposes. Cardell has had a nice night punting the football. Ashton levels Mitchell, watches it bounce at the 45, and it backtracks to the 49 before Cedar Hill can finally down it there. So good field position for the Eagles. Down by 7, 7:19 on the clock in the fourth, and they take it over, looking to tie the football game. Collier with Henley in motion. Ball on the deck. Collier is able to scramble back on top of it, trying to make something happen. Fires on the right-hand side and completes it. What a play. Jaden Wilson, and a first down for DeSoto. Flag at the end of the play. How did Samari Collier do that?
I mean, it's I don't know, Mike. I don't know if I've ever seen that, honestly speaking. I mean, we definitely mentioned multiple times how athletic both of these quarterbacks are, and I mean, he definitely showed it right there.
Now we'll check the flag after the play. And all of it's going to come back. One of the more impressive plays we've seen all day, but wipe it off the board. The 10-yard penalty for the illegal block, and it's going to be first down and 9 as they spot it at midfield. Just shy of 5,000 of you with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. Again, please share the feed around. Let your friends know that we got a real good one cooking here in the fourth quarter on the WFAA YouTube channel. Collier over the middle, complete Vining. Pickup of 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 4.
Absolutely, Mike. They're setting up to go fast again here. They found success with that throughout this ball game. You know, pick up 5, pick up 6, pick up 7, line up again, let's go do it again. And so here they are trying to pick up that tempo of their offense.
High snap. Collier's going to have to get back on top of this one. Scoops it up and, frankly, makes something of it here. Nearly. I thought for sure he was trying to throw that out of play.
Oh, man.
Jaden Wilson tried to jump and make the catch on that one. We've talked over the course of this season. We did Aledo Cedar Hill earlier this year. Now we've got DeSoto Cedar Hill. We've talked about Caden Salter being the magic man. A little bit of that from Samari Collier over the course of the last 3 or 4 plays. Saves his team a big chunk of yards there with that play, and it's 3rd down and 4. 3 wides to the right of the formation. Collier looking to the sideline, and offensive coordinator Andy Padron as they change the play. 8 seconds on the play clock. Handoff, Henley straight up the gut, and he's got a first down and then some. Lowered his shoulder and leg drive to the 30. First down, Eagles.
That's a big run right there for Chris Henley. I mean, he's running with some aggression, some power right there. He wanted that 4 yards, and he got every bit of it to pick up a first down for this DeSoto offense.
And quickly back to the line of scrimmage they come once again. 1st and 10 right at the 30-yard stripe. Collier over the middle, incomplete. Tried to find Vining in tight coverage.
Right there trying to run a little option route with Vining right there, trying to find matchups. And that's one thing that this DeSoto offense has done well tonight. They've definitely found matchups against these linebackers, spreading those guys out and making them play in space with some of these dangerous slot receivers.
That was Ingram, the linebacker, that was in tight coverage on that one. And now another nice play from the Cedar Hill front 7. Nowhere to go for Henley. Kyvion Presley making the tackle, and it's 3rd down and 11.
Big play right here for DeSoto. You got to convert this if you want to give yourself a chance in this ball game.
Cedar Hill fans getting loud. Throw it over the middle. Incomplete. Through the hands of Vining and nearly picked off.
Really, really tight coverage right there, trying to thread the needle. And I mean, it's definitely a great play call. Definitely trying to, again, attack those matchups. But on a big play like that on 3rd down, you gotta if you're Collier, you have to be mindful that these coverages are going to get a little bit tighter and these windows are going to get a little bit smaller.
4th down and 11 for Collier. Looking right, fires that way, incomplete. Knocked away by the Cedar Hill quarterback of Marion Williams, and it's a turnover on downs.
Big stop right there by the Cedar Hill defense. I mean, these DBs are just playing tight coverage in your back pocket right there, coming up with a big stop on 4th down to continue to hold on to this lead as we are inching up on 5.5 minutes left in this ball game, Mike. I mean, a really huge play by this Cedar Hill defense.
So the Longhorns take it back, leading by a touchdown. Both teams still with all 3 timeouts. As Kevin Young takes the pitch near side, runs out of bounds at the 38. Pickup of 7 on the play. And once again, the onus falls on this DeSoto defense to make a stop.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and they have done that in this ballgame, Mike. I mean, they've continued to pick it up a little bit here as we've been inching through this 4th quarter. So hopefully they have, maybe 1 or 2 more stops in them to give their offense another opportunity to either tie this ball game up or take the lead.
2nd down and 3. Young, patient in the backfield, trying to find a hole. Stood up at the 40. It's going to be 3rd and a yard. .5:23 and moving 4th quarter on Friday Night Football. Cedar Hill, the number 10 team in the state in 6A, leading their biggest rival, the number 6 DeSoto Eagles, by a touchdown in the 35th installment of the Battle of Beltline. DeSoto also ranked 25th in the country by Max Preps. But trying to make a stop here on 3rd down and a yard. Salter, run an option, keeping it himself, 1st down and then some. Across midfield inside the 40. Salter trying to run away. Down inside the 30-yard line. Mark him out of bounds at the 20.
Again, great play call right there of attacking the short edge right there and running that that speed option. And Salter just using his speed to get down the sideline and picking up a big 1st down. And, I mean, it's almost kind of like a backbreaker for this DeSoto defense. I mean, you held up strong for 2 downs, and then you give up a really big run by the quarterback right there by Salter.
Looked like a favorable spot. It looked like he may have been out of bounds at the 23 or 24. They give it to him at the 20, and it's 1st and 10. Salter now with the option pitch to Kevin Young. Kevin Young with a block on the outside. Lowers his shoulder at the 5-yard line, and it's 1st and goal Longhorns.
Mike, I'm not sure if Kevin Young knew that he could potentially still be in bounds right here because you see the left foot there kind of step out of bounds a little bit. So it's almost kind of everybody kind of stopped to see if the referee is going to blow a whistle or not. But, I mean, really great job of calling the same play back-to-back. A lot of defenses don't expect that. And so great job by them of calling the same play back-to-back and picking up an even greater gain right here to make it 1st and goal.
1st and goal from the 5. Salter has been the best player on the field all night. Trying to find a score here to finish it. Little miscommunication on who should have the football. Salter kept it and maybe gained a yard or 2. That was nearly a disaster.
Oh, yeah, right there. They were trying to run that triple option that they've been doing all night. And, I mean, somehow, some way, the master showman and Salter found his way out of that pile with the football. So
mark it just outside the 3-yard line. 2nd down and goal. Just over 4 minutes to play and ticking endlessly. If you're a DeSoto fan, that clock is just being cruel right now. They do have all 3 timeouts left, but the first order of business right now for DeSoto is getting a stop here. Cedar Hill uses their first timeout as the play clock was about to expire. 3:53 to play as Cedar Hill looks for their 3rd consecutive win, John, in this series. And what a night from Caden Salter. I mean, this kid has been electrifying We teed it up at the beginning of the night, just how good DeSoto's defense is and how much we were looking forward to that matchup and who would get the better of that matchup. The answer has been Salter.
Yeah, I mean, Salter just finds ways to either execute at a very, very, very efficient level, or he's found ways to make something out of nothing. And so, I mean, this kid comes in. He's an Elite 11 finalist, and for those who don't know, that's, some of the top 5% quarterbacks in the entire nation. So he is as advertised, people, and this kid can definitely play some football.
His stat line as it stands right now, 16 of 21 passing for 210 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception, 16 carries for another 136 yards, and 2 more touchdowns. He has been sensational. Second down and goal out of the timeout from the 3. Tight formation from Cedar Hill. Salter's going to keep it himself. Lowers his shoulder. Call it touchdown number 5 for Caden Salter. And a 2-score lead for the Longhorns with under 4 to play.
Yeah, right there, Salter doing what he does best, and that is getting into the end zone. I mean, again, just forcing his way in there, Mike. I mean, you can't get that close and not score. And this young man definitely shows time and time again that he can get it done when the opportunity presents itself.
Show me a better quarterback in Texas than Caden Salter.
I'm still looking.
There are some really good quarterbacks around the area. Garrett Nussmeier at Flower Mound, Marcus. There are some really good quarterbacks, don't get me wrong, but man, Caden Salter has been sensational tonight. 5 touchdowns now on the night. The 3-yard touchdown run, capping it off. 3:49 to play. DeSoto has all 3 timeouts. It's not over yet, but you can see it from here, and Caden Salter is the reason why.
Absolutely, man. That kid just walks with a different demeanor, Mike. I mean, he has a different swagger about him. But as I'm watching him go up and down the sideline, kind of dap up guys and congratulate, guys and capping off a drive with a touchdown. I mean, this kid just has a different type of energy about him. And, I mean, you can see why the team gravitates towards him. They allow him to lead in the way that he's doing. And, I mean, you can't ask for much more than 5 touchdowns, Mike. You just absolutely cannot.
The trash talk between these two teams all week long was on another level. It always is. That is one of the hallmarks of this matchup. It's one of the things that makes it great. As the kickoff here from Cedar Hill is short. Ball's loose. Tell you what, that is a fantastic catch by Marcus Bonner to hang on to that football, and DeSoto will have good field position as a result. But one of the things that I noticed on social media earlier this week, I posted a promo of the game on Instagram, and there was a comment very clearly from a DeSoto fan, or at least somebody that thinks DeSoto's really good, and for good reason. They're fantastic.
Yep, absolutely.
Said, hey, I got $50 on DeSoto. The thing I noticed about that, Caden Salter saw it and liked that comment. Caden Salter knew. He knew there was some chattering going on, and he's come out and silenced an awful lot of people tonight. DeSoto trying to make something of these final 3 minutes and 49 seconds, and that's a very good start. Great ball from Samari Collier to Javin Vining on the far sideline.
Collier has definitely been finding something in Vining tonight as he's targeted him multiple times, but great job right there, Vining running a great route and getting open and helping his offense get down the field. And, Mike, they have to try to score in a hurry as we continue to tick through this third quarter.
3:39 to play in the fourth. Collier throws on the right side into a lot of traffic, and there is a flag there at the end of the play. Amarion Williams can't believe the penalty. One thing that works in DeSoto's favor here, one, they do have all 3 timeouts. 2, as we get another look at the penalty, and yeah, I think you can make the argument he was there a half a step early. But they also have had a lot of success, especially in this second half, running the up-tempo offense.
Yep.
That's where they've been at their best in the second half. They're going to need an awful lot of that in the final 3.5 minutes. But they are now 1st and 10 at the 25. And back to the line of scrimmage comes Collier out of shotgun. Pressure in his face, makes a man miss. Looking end zone, now checks it down, and it falls incomplete. He had a man in Vining, but he just underthrew him just a hair. Now another penalty. It's going to go against Cedar Hill. So they'll replay first down. It'll be 1st and 5. .328 to play. DeSoto has to move quick here, but they do have enough time still on the clock to make something happen. Collier, right side, knocked away.
Great coverage. Great coverage by Ingram right there, not being phased by the 2 steps at the top of their route and just driving to the football and, getting him a great PBU right there and forcing a second down. So great job of coverage right there by Ingram at the linebacker position.
Carlos Lynn said he's their most athletic linebacker, and he's shown the ability to cover wide receivers in space. Collier, end zone, nobody home but a Cedar Hill defender, but he couldn't hang on to it. Incomplete, could have been a game-ending interception. Some miscommunication between Collier and his wide receiver on that side of the field. It was Jonte Cook. And Tyron Bird, the corner, just couldn't haul it in.
Definitely gotta seal the game with that one. You gotta seal the game with that one if you're Bird.
3rd and 5, handoff right side. Henley looks like he's going to be short, which 1 means the clock will continue to move, but 2 means it's now 4th down and a little less than a yard. Henley stumbles off after he came up a little gimpy. 4th and a yard, low snap. They'll pick up the first down and then some. It'll be 1st and goal here for DeSoto as Brendan White carries inside the 10. Ball came out, but he was certainly down and the play was over. So DeSoto unfazed by the 4th down scenario there, and they do convert. I'd be intrigued to see that again if we've got a moment, or maybe just kind of hang on to that replay. I'm not certain that he was down, but that certainly was the ruling, and it's 1st and goal. 3 wides to the left for Collier. And now a flag will go against, it appears, Cedar Hill's defense, and it'll be half the distance to the goal. Here's the replay once again. It's real hard. There's a lot of bodies in the way. It's hard to say for certain. But either way, the officials ruled him down. Now 1st and goal after the penalty from the 4-yard line. Collier, under 2:40 to play, throw an end zone flag on the play. And then you could move him 2 yards closer. Holding against the Cedar Hill defense, the call. It'll be 1st and goal once again. Now from the 2. 2:34 to play. Again, DeSoto's been able to make their way all the way down the field without using any of their timeouts. So you could, if you can score quick here, maybe possibly kick the ball away and try and play defense. But they've got to score first to make any of that necessary. And another flag comes in here. It'll be 1st and goal again, this time from the 1-yard line. At some point, you can't get any closer.
Yeah, I mean, at some point you definitely got to capitalize. I mean, it seems as, despite the result of the play, they've definitely been getting positive yards. So, if you're DeSoto, you got to punch it in right here. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than this. As we close in on this last 2.5 minutes left of this ball game, I mean, you got to punch it in right here from the 1.
2 minutes, 30 seconds to play in the 4th, a 2-score game. DeSoto trying to have that handoff. Henley, touchdown. And DeSoto does exactly what they needed to do right there. A little bit extracurriculars, but the officials quickly there to jump on top of it as Jaheim Lowe and Henley jawed with one another after the touchdown run. But if you're DeSoto, you just did exactly what you needed to do. Quickly go down the field, score a touchdown, don't use a timeout, and cut it to a 7-point game. 2:24 to play. This one's not over yet.
No, they definitely have plenty of time. I mean, even if they don't get the kick, they can definitely cause a stop on 3rd and 4th down as they get on defense. And so, even if they don't necessarily pick up this onside kick, which they very well can, we've seen some pretty weird kicks here in the course of the season from these phenomenal kickers who are putting the balls in some tough places to recover. So they very well have an opportunity to recover this onside kick that we assume is going to be coming up being this late in the 4th quarter.
I'm almost inclined, though, to think they don't have to.
Yeah.
With all 3 timeouts, you could decide to kick the football away and play defense. I'm not sure if that's the best call if you're Claude Mathis, given that number 7's on the other side wearing black and white and red. Yeah. He's really, really good. Yeah. I don't know if you want to give him the football back and say, hey, we're going to stop you and get a quick stop here and get the football back. Not sure how much I would trust that. Yeah. And listen, DeSoto's defense is exceptional. I know they've given up 42 points tonight.
Yeah.
That does not change the reality of the matter. They were giving up an average of 8 points per game coming into this game, but Cedar Hill's really good. Both of these teams are fantastic. This game has been everything we expected it to be. DeSoto's defense is fantastic. I wouldn't blame Claude Mathis for trusting them.
Yeah.
But what we've seen so far tonight, Caden Salter's been really hard to stop.
Yeah, absolutely, 1,000%.
And it looks like they are going to try an onside kick here off the foot of Angel Diaz. Short kick to the right side, rolling on the ground and fielded well by Cedar Hill. It's Javian Clemmer making maybe the biggest catch he's made all night. And it'll be Longhorn football, 2:23 to play. Now again, all 3 timeouts to work with here for DeSoto. Still every opportunity here to make a stop.
Absolutely, Mike. I think just to play devil's advocate here, I think I would have kicked it deep and tried to make Salter drive the length of the field or either give the ball back on 3rd down because as we can see, he can do a lot of things with a short field, which they've had some great field position all night starting on offense.
And that's really the downside of kicking the onside kick and not recovering it is even if you do get the stop, as Kevin Young is stood up and driven back, a very good start to the drive here for the DeSoto defense. Timeout Claude Mathis, and it'll be 2nd down and 11. That's the really impactful thing about choosing to kick the onside kick is now, instead of having Cedar Hill with possession maybe at their own 20, 25-yard line, and you're trying to make a stop, the football's at the 43. Even if you do make a stop here, DeSoto, now you're looking at your field position maybe being back inside your own. We've seen how good a night Cedar Hill's punter Jaden Cardell has had. Maybe you're now deep inside your own 20 instead of potentially getting the ball at about the 40-yard line. When you've got to go down and score a touchdown, that's a big difference with potentially no timeouts to work with. So field position is severely impacted by that choice.
Absolutely. Just like we mentioned with special teams, I mean, that has definitely come into play with their amazing punter. And so, again, I mean, they could very well get a stop here, but Cedar Hill has done a great job of pinning DeSoto deep in their own territory, inside, the 20 to 15 to 20 to start their series. So, very, very critical plays coming up here in the next 2 minutes and 14 seconds. So it's going to be very interesting to see who can endure the longest and who can pull out this win, Mike, because they both have come to play tonight.
2nd down and a dozen after the loss of 2 on the first play of the series. Salter with 3 wides left. He's going to run the option near side, and well defended by Jaden Milliner-Jones. The sophomore makes the tackle, and it's going to be 3rd down and about 11. Maybe mark it back at the original line of scrimmage, call it 3rd and 10, and another timeout here for DeSoto. Moon rising over Cedar Hill. Third and 10 forthcoming here for the Cedar Hill Longhorns offense, and an opportunity for DeSoto to make the quick stop they needed to make.
Yeah.
Do you dare put the ball in the air here if you're Cedar Hill, or do you have to keep it on the ground? Third down and 10. Looks like they're going to go to the air, either that or a quarterback draw, and that's exactly what it is for Salter. Can he get the edge? Fight through a tackle, but not quite enough for a first down, and he stepped out of bounds. He's going to be short by about 1.5 yards, but the most impactful thing here is he stepped out of bounds. The clock will stop. 2:05 to play. That is going to save DeSoto a timeout. He got to the 48. He needed the 47. It's 4th and 1 yard, and might Cedar Hill go for it here? It looks like indeed they will. A chance to end the football game right here for the Cedar Hill Longhorns if they can pick up 1 yard. Ball at the 48. Gutsy decision here from Carlos Lynn. Can they draw him offside? At least not at first. 6 on the play clock, and now they'll call timeout and punt the football away. So they took a chance to see if they could maybe draw him offside and get a free first down. Good job by DeSoto to stay poised in that moment and not jump.
Absolutely. Great job of them of just standing home and you know, being patient. Now, if Cedar Hill does, you know, come back out onto the field with their offense, I would not be surprised if they, you know, tell Salter to keep the ball and pick up this first down. He has had an amazing night tonight. You know, being responsible for 5 touchdowns on tonight. And, you know, if they decide to come out and punt it, you know, I'm, you know, if you're Cedar Hill, you're pretty confident in that as well. I mean, you've been pinning them inside the 10 and the 5 all night long with your punting unit. So, you know, it's pretty exciting to see what the play call is going to be here.
I'm not sure they're going to punt it.
Okay.
Here comes Caden Salter back on the football field. 4th and 1 yard, and Cedar Hill may indeed try to end it right here. Salter, straight up the middle, first down, and off to the races. How about that to finish the football game? Touchdown, Cedar Hill. Put it to bed.
The magician, the master showman, the craftsman, the Elite 11 finalist, the number 3 dual threat quarterback in the country, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this young man is just amazing. Capping off the night with his 6th touchdown that he's responsible for. I mean, untouched, Mike, right through the middle of the field, untouched. This young man definitely has everything that he needs to go be, you know, a really, really phenomenal D1 player as a Tennessee commit. I mean, phenomenal kid. Phenomenal kid.
Caden Salter. 6 touchdowns. 6 touchdowns. And what is about to be a 3rd consecutive win for the Cedar Hill Longhorns in the Battle of Beltline. 49-35. Cedar Hill with the lead and $1:57 to play. What a show. What a show.
Gosh, man. This kid is... Yeah, I mean, he's everything that you want, Mike. I mean, he's done it in the air. He's done it on the ground. I mean, he's definitely aware of the big moments. I can definitely say that. He has a very great knack of understanding when it's time to capitalize in a big moment. We're talking 4th and 1 yard, folks, to either seal the game or give DeSoto an opportunity, and he takes it for 6 rather than just selling for a first down.
So DeSoto now with just a timeout left. 1:56 after a second ticks off on the kickoff there. Trying to get the live stats to upload so we can give you the stat line for Caden Salter tonight because it is off the charts. How about this? 16 of 21 through the air, 210 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. And his rushing stats tonight? Stop it. 21 carries, 200 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah, I mean, geez. What do you do?
Great throw here from Collier to Vining. DeSoto, to their unending credit, continuing to fight. They needed to make a play, obviously, on that 4th and 1 and didn't, but they're still trying to make something of these final 2 minutes. 1st and 10 at the 47. 100 seconds to play. Over the middle, intercepted, and that will put it to bed. No, not quite. A flag on the play. The underneath man's going to get called for pass interference, it looks like here. Stephen Ingram is going to get called for the flag. And the drive will continue for DeSoto.
Right there, DeSoto trying to take a shot. I mean, trying to take as many chances as they can to try to, finish this game with a fight and try to, if they can score, with a minute left, they may have an opportunity to get an onside kick. And so they are definitely still fighting with, a little bit closer to a minute and a half left in this ball game.
There's enough time.
Yeah.
We've already seen them go racing down the field once without even using a timeout. It's not impossible, but now at this point with only one timeout left, an onside kick recovery is a necessary element of the puzzle, and that drastically ratchets up the level of difficulty. Handoff here and an awful lot of running room for Chris Henley. Henley to the sideline, Henley to the house. Touchdown DeSoto, and with 89 seconds to play, it's a one-score game again. Nothing is over in this football game. This football game is the 2020 presidential election of football games. It will never end. DeSoto scores, and it's a one-score game again.
Man, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, Mike. I mean, you score with a minute and a half left in the ball game. You give yourself an opportunity to get an onside kick, and you still have plenty of time with the timeout left. Like, if that's not fighting, folks, I don't know what it is.
There was a penalty after the touchdown that will go against DeSoto. That will be assessed. Oh, beg your pardon. It was right here on the PAT. So they'll just knock them back 5 yards. Turn a 20-yard kick into a, looks like about 26 yards is where they'll spot the football. Extra point is up and through, and it's once again a 7-point football game. Give you a chance to see one more time the Chris Henley touchdown run from 39 yards out. And frankly, a creative play call in a spot where if you're the defense, you're all geared up to defend the pass.
Yep.
And before you can even blink, you're getting gashed by Henley.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Henley was able to get two defenders to be in the same gap, and you never want that to happen if you're a defender. You never want to be in the same gap as your teammate. And right there, I mean, using his vision and using his eyes and luring two guys to be in the same place and then get up the sideline to score. I mean, gave his team an opportunity, Mike. I mean, we got a minute and a half left, and they have an absolute perfect opportunity to come up with an onside kick and give themselves a chance to, tie this ball game up and maybe go into overtime. But, I mean, they have not gone out without a fight tonight.
Next week on Friday Night Football, we've got another fantastic matchup in 6A. The number 5 Allen Eagles playing host to the number 11 Denton Guyer Wildcats in what is effectively the district championship game between these two teams. Guyer with a 1-point win over Prosper last week on the final play of the game. Allen this week looking to knock off Little Elm. Both of these teams should win fairly easily this week. Next week, though, should be a show between these two teams right here on Friday Night Football. Onside kick time for DeSoto. They weren't able to recover the first one. We'll see what they can do here off the foot of Angel Diaz. Down by 7 and 1:29 to play. Diaz on a line drive and fielded cleanly and run out of bounds. It's Clemmer again. And now Cedar Hill basically just needs to avoid a disaster.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I can imagine that they're going to take, maybe 2 run plays and a kneel to finish it. But, again, I mean, great job of DeSoto of fighting it out. I mean, they still have 1 timeout left, and they can definitely use it, but they have to be really, really smart with it. But, if Salter and his offense does the right thing, they can walk out of this ball game with a victory here.
Victory formation for Cedar Hill as Carlos Lynn's club defending their home turf for the 2nd straight year. And again, just avoiding a disaster away from, as Salter kind of runs around in a circle. I'm not sure why he's not just going down, really risking something there. Gosh, if he had gotten stripped from behind there, that would have been a disaster.
Yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. I mean, I get it. You're trying to run the clock out, and you're trying to, take as much time off as you can. But, I mean, like you mentioned, Mike, I mean, it could very well have been a disaster right there.
Dicey. DeSoto does use, it appears, their final timeout. They haven't taken it off the board yet, but the clock is stopped unless there was a penalty that necessitated a stoppage here. Still no signal from our officials. 1:08 on the clock and holding, and now they will wind the clock. 20 seconds on the play clock now. As you can see, the 2 tick down together, and DeSoto has not yet used their 1 timeout. Just doing the math in my head, I don't believe that they can realistically get the football back, but Cedar Hill made that way more interesting than they needed to.
Yeah.
And again, Salter's going to do the same. And my goodness, if he were to have the ball, why not just take a knee?
I have no idea, Mike. I really don't know. I truly don't know.
Now Cedar Hill, DeSoto does call their timeout. I'm really not sure what they're doing here because with as good as the defensive front is from DeSoto,
yeah,
you are taking massive risks here. Now, I get, and again, just kind of doing the math as we've been going along here, yes, they needed to, and real quick so you guys understand, the clock that is on the screen right now is not the game clock, it's the timeout clock. They replace it here in-house at Cedar Hill, so you'll see the game clock return to your screen in a moment. Yes, because of the way the math played out, you needed to work a couple more seconds off the clock so that you don't have to punt the football away. Yeah. I get that that's what Cedar Hill's trying to avoid here.
Yeah.
But shoot, if you're Carlos Lynn, you got to be saying to Caden Salter, listen, you're gifted. Do what you can to kill some time.
Yeah.
But be safe with the football and just go down.
Yeah.
You don't need to fight for extra yardage. You don't need to do any of that. Just go down. And twice now it has been real dicey. A strip sack was very much in play on each of those plays. We'll see what they do here on 3rd down. With a 25-second play clock, they can't quite evaporate the clock here without punting. This time they finally do just take a knee. And now with a 40-second play clock, that is it. And they don't have to punt the football away. And it is over. So all of that for nothing. Now I really don't understand why Cedar Hill did what they did. But regardless, it doesn't matter. The Longhorns celebrating at midfield with a 49-42 win. And a backflip to match from Caden Salter. And the Longhorns win their 3rd straight Battle of Beltline. Coaches from both teams making sure that everybody stays polite and sportsmanlike here. We talked about it off the top of the broadcast that last year there was some pushing and shoving and some, extended, frankly. It took a while for everything to get settled down a year ago, pregame. This year, DeSoto made the decision to not warm up on the field here at Cedar Hill, warmed up at home, and then drove over here the 6 miles down Beltline Road. and came out on the field just 6 minutes before kickoff. Tonight, respect and cooler heads prevail as Cedar Hill notches their 3rd straight victory in the Battle of Beltline. What a performance from Caden Salter. And, I mean, shoot, he's where you start.
Yeah.
He's obviously where you start. He scored 6 touchdowns. But we could go on and on about the players in this football game and what they did tonight. This Caden Salter touchdown run on 4th down and 1 was the death knell for DeSoto. But what fight from these two teams in what was the most highly anticipated matchup in this rivalry in at least 4 years, if not 6, going back to that 2014 matchup where they were number 2 and number 4 in the state early on in the season. And this game lived up to the billing from the word go.
Absolutely. I mean, from start to finish, it definitely did exactly what we expected. Even so much so, former quarterback Justin McMillan reached out to me on Instagram and said, "Hey, buddy, you in my backyard, man. That's what we do." And I mean, as you can see, like we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Mike. I mean, this community. I mean, the rivalry between these two teams definitely lived exactly what we expected, and they gave us the ball game of the year, in my opinion, Mike. Of just two teams battling it out. The best guys on the best guys, and Caden Salter just finding a way to score 6 amazing touchdowns tonight.
DeSoto won 3 straight, 2011, 2012, and 2013. Back-to-back wins for Cedar Hill, 2014 and 2015. 3 more in a row for DeSoto, 2016, regular season and postseason, and then 2017. But now 3 consecutive wins in the Battle of Beltline for Cedar Hill. 2018, they won 32-17. Last year, 28-27 on a final moments play by DeSoto, but then a failed 2-point conversion. And then tonight, 49-42 behind 6 touchdowns from Caden Salter. And Cedar Hill moves to 5-0 and moves on now to the district championship game against Duncanville, the number 2 team in the state of Texas in 6A, and a massive test now. If this wasn't a big enough test for the Cedar Hill Longhorns, okay, rest up, boys, because now you got to go face Duncanville. And that one should be an absolute barn burner. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, we talked about it before. I mean, you have to go against the great and powerful Duncanville. And, amazing win tonight, a great night to celebrate. I mean, it's definitely a rivalry for the ages. But just like we mentioned, Mike, I mean, this district championship is definitely getting ready to show its head. And they have to go against, again, a powerful team in Duncanville who definitely leads the way and leads the charge in this district. And so, again, great night, though, by the Longhorns tonight of just finding ways, despite their early mistakes in the ball game, despite their flags that have been present all night. They've pulled out a win here tonight in a 49-42 victory over DeSoto.
I was inclined to believe it before tonight. I definitely believe it now. The Cedar Hill Longhorns are a bona fide state championship contender in 6A Division II.
Yeah.
DeSoto and Duncanville are going to be all but assuredly your 6A D1 representatives out of this district. Cedar Hill's going 6A D2. Katy, by the way, not usually a 6A D2 contender, but might be if things break their way. I don't know if you can call it their way. I don't know if they would want that or not necessarily, but if things break that way in their district, Katy, who's the number 3 team in the state in 6A, might end up in the D2 bracket. Whether they do or don't, Cedar Hill is as in that conversation as anybody in the state of Texas. This is a team that has a very real state championship chance here in 2020. This team is fantastic, and with Caden Salter leading the way, good luck to anybody trying to slow this team down.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, they have every right to. They have every right to compete for a state title this year. Granted that they continue to put the puzzle pieces together as a team. And, like we mentioned week in and week out, as we continue to inch our way closer to the end of this season, penalties, mental fatigue, costly mistakes, big penalties in the game will definitely stunt your growth or your progress towards, making, securing your name in that state final. But, I mean, this Cedar Hill team can definitely represent themselves well as they did here tonight.
Caden Salter's final stat line, 16-21 through the air, 210 yards and 2 touchdowns. The scramble drill at the end of the game knocked a few yards off his rushing total, 23 for 179, and the 4 touchdowns when it's all said and done. But don't let anybody fool you. Realistically, that young man ran for 200 yards tonight before the scrambles at the end of the game, which I still don't understand what they were doing if they could have just been kneeling the ball out. Anyway, fantastic performance from Caden Salter. And they get the belt, as you see it in the hands of Carlos Lynn right now, in a Great American Rivalry Series matchup. That's how good this rivalry, if you don't know, this is a rivalry that is nationally recognized as part of the Great American Rivalry Series. And for the last 3 years, we have seen the Cedar Hill Longhorns take that belt. Sabari Collier, 16-31 for 209 yards and a touchdown tonight. Chris Henley, 17 carries and 108 yards, 2 TDs for him tonight. Collier ran 13 times, for 64 yards and a score. Brendan White, 8 carries, 41 yards and a touchdown. Javin Vining led the way for DeSoto, receiving 5 receptions for 71 yards. Jonte Cook, 5 catches, 52 yards. Jaden Wilson, 3 for 48. Jerron Bradley, 2 for 34. I should mention Cook had a touchdown reception as well. Full stats for Cedar Hill. Salter, 16-21 for 210 and 2 touchdowns. Did have the 1 interception that was a pick 6 that gave DeSoto the lead there early on in the first quarter. Salter again, 23, 179 on the ground and 4 touchdowns. Kevin Young, 11 carries, 69 yards and a touchdown. Brian Rainey carried a couple times for 26 yards. And receiving for Cedar Hill, Kevin Young, 7 for 103 and a touchdown. Jaden Moore, 4 for 84, and what is still maybe the play of the night, as great as Caden Salter was, Jaden Moore may have made the best play we saw all night on his touchdown reception. Ernie Moore, 1 for 15. Javian Clemmer, 1 for 9 yards. Brian Rainey made a couple of catches for 5 yards tonight. This one was fun. Yeah. This one was an awful lot of fun, my friend. 49-42, the final score in favor of Cedar Hill. Your final thoughts on what was your kind of introduction to the Battle of Beltline? What do you think of the rivalry, my friend?
I mean, it exceeded what I expected, Mike. I mean, coming into this ball game, I think I mentioned it to you that, both of these teams like to sling the ball around, and I think that's what makes not only football fun, but Texas football fun. I mean, a lot of these schools, adapt that RPO type of offense, and so far, the only person I've seen run it as efficiently and as effectively is Caden Salter. I mean, a master showman, the magician with the ball. He knows exactly what to do. So, excited to see that young man's future as he goes forward. But, I mean, this ball game tonight was exactly what we expected. I mean, it even came down to the last kick with us not knowing, what the results could be. So, as an introduction to the Battle of the Beltline, I'm excited for next year. I mean, we got plenty of games to go left, but I'm excited to see this one again next year. So, a great night tonight out here in Cedar Hill, Texas.
Speaking of plenty of games to go, next week right here on our air, another really good matchup. The Allen Eagles, number 5 in the state, hosting number 11 Denton Guyer. And you can see that game right here on the WFAA YouTube channel on Friday Night Football 1 week from now. This one, though, was special. 49-42, Cedar Hill with the win, a 3rd straight win in the Battle of Beltline, and they move to 5-0 on the year and into the district championship game 1 week from tonight against Duncanville. With that, this one is in the books. Our thanks to head coaches Claude Mathis and Carlos Lynn for being so very generous with their time and information about their 2 teams, not just this week, but earlier this season as well, and also to athletic directors Larry Davis and Melanie Benjamin. Real quick, to give an extended shout-out to Larry Davis and Melanie Benjamin. They kind of helped us launch this whole thing 3 years back when we did our first Battle of Beltline back in 2018. That was the game that kind of put our broadcast on the map and allowed us to kind of matriculate into 2019 and now here in 2020. So truly a big thank you to Melanie Benjamin and Larry Davis for allowing us to come out each of the last 3 years and bring you guys this football game. We could not be more thankful to those 2 individuals for the way that they've helped us in the last couple of years right here on the WFAA Digital Network. Our photographer is Dwayne Watkins. Our director is Clay Marshall. Our digital coordinator back in-house is Nick Blackhall. Our technical director is Don Hazen. And the executive producer of Friday Night Football is Sean Hamilton. For John DeArce here with me in Cedar Hill, I'm Mike Leslie. Thanks so much for watching tonight. Join us next week as we head to Allen Eagle Stadium for the Wildcats, for the Geyer Wildcats. I'm already fired up for this one. For the Geyer Wildcats and the Allen Eagles 1 week from tonight. Thanks for watching Friday Night Football, everyone. Good night from Cedar Hill.